Evening. We're here. It's finals night. Welcome, everybody. Good evening. This is the culmination of 16 weeks Premier League action. We have toured the country. We have been, in fact, we haven't just toured the country, we've toured multiple countries. We have followed 8 players on a very, very mixed bag of journeys and performances over the last 16 weeks, but we now have our final 4. Somebody is merely 2 games away from being the 2024 Premier League darts champion. I'm going to sit and watch the lot of it with you. I've got a ridiculous amount of bits and pieces set up. My camera's often probably not where it should be today because I've got screens and all sorts of bits and pieces. We've got a bit of a clock in the middle of the screen there. We are allegedly 11 minutes and 23 seconds away from our opening game. So we've got 11 minutes to kill before we will see Luke Littler against Michael Smith decide who our first finalist of the night is going to be. We've already got some action in the chat room, which is absolutely fantastic. We've got a few of the regulars in. If you aren't a regular and you are recently finding us, so for the last 16 weeks, we have done a show that we like to call the Fallout Bar. So every single week after the Premier League, as soon as the last dart's gone in, we've got all set up here and we've had a little bit of a chat about the action. We've had a chat about what has happened throughout the course of the evening. We've done some predictions of the next week. The predictions haven't been very good from either us in the team or anyone in the chat room. It's been a real mixed bag, to be honest. I'll say a mixed bag. It's been crap largely. But that's not what we're here for tonight. We're not doing Fallout. We're not doing talking about what's gone on. We are just going to watch it and enjoy it a little bit. Obviously, we can't stream the action. We would get cancelled straight away. So what we have got is we've got a sort of a live, you'll probably see on the screen in front of you, I've got a bit of a live scores setup going on, which when we get underway, we'll see the darts sort of digitally going into the board. We'll see how the scores are working, and I'm sure you've probably all got the actual footage of the darts on a device or other as well. I have. So I've got a TV off to the side where we've just finished with the cricket on Sky Sports main event, and we've now got Mark Webster and Wayne Mardle having a little bit of a chat with their predictions. Now, I do believe throughout the course of the evening, I'm going to be joined by various members of the online darts team, I think, for different stages of it. Obviously, it's a little bit earlier than we are normally used to. I've managed to get out of having to, I say that's a terrible, I shouldn't phrase it like that. I haven't got out of having, I've not been able to put my kids to bed and settle them down tonight. I've been able to sit and watch darts instead. Oh, it's terrible. Mrs. Simpson will be most aggrieved. But yeah, a little bit different. If you're in the chat room, I think a lot of you will have been watching, or if you are regulars with us, probably on Thursday night, we'll have gathered some predictions. I have gone a little bit rogue with my predictions. I've gone with I say a little bit rogue. I've gone with Smith to beat Littler, and I've gone with Humphries to beat Michael Van Gerwen for predicting that Luke Humphries will win the final. That is what I've gone for. Is that digital board tracker available for every TV game? Yeah. So there's, to be completely honest, there's a lot of like live score websites, and again they just take what's happening. Some of them produce it in a digital image like this. Some of them produce it in pure just numbers. A lot of the bookmakers have their own version of it as well. This is generally the one that looks a bit nicer and it's a bit easier to see when I share it on a screen like that. I clicked around with a few and this looked the best in terms of the setup. So there is a bit of a few. Bonkers, what have you got? Humphries beat Smith 11-9 in the final. Yeah, I mean, you've got the same final as me. I've got a Humphries Smith final, but I think that my prediction, which is part of a bigger prediction, is that not only does Humphries win the Premier League, but that is part 2 ticked off of the coveted darts triple crown, because I think he might go and do a bit in the match play as well. And I think not only will he win a triple crown, but he certainly has the potential to win a triple crown in the same calendar year, which I think would be bloody impressive. Let's have a little look at our time. We always have to do a little bit of a shout out because title sponsors both for the event. So Darts Premier League itself sponsored this year by BET MGM, and we are lucky enough here at Online Darts to also be sponsored by BET MGM for shows like this, which is absolutely bleeding marvellous, to be honest, because it does make it much easier for me and the rest of the team to come along every Thursday night throughout the course of it, and spend a little bit of time out of our weeks talking about darts. So while I'm on, let's have a little bit of a look. Now, see, I know I've predicted Michael Smith to win, but I also think if you are going, and don't forget, folks, if you are going to have a bet and you are going to use title sponsors, BET MGM, they do have a double up offer where if you have a 4-fold accumulator of things that you think will happen tonight, they will, up to £5, give you double your odds, which means if you find a little accumulator of things that accumulate to 6 to 1, they will actually pay you 12 to 1, which is incredible value. Smith's the total underdog. Michael Smith, 17 to 10 with BET MGM, and as I've picked Michael Smith, I think that 17 to 10 is looking very, very good value. Luke Littler at 11 to 25. I just don't think there's enough value in that for me. If you like backing favourites, then 11 to 25 might not be out of your usual set pattern. Interestingly enough, exactly the same odds with BET MGM for both games. So we've got both Luke's at 11 to 25, and we've got both Michael's at 17 to 10. So I don't know if that might be the first time. There's some statisticians, as always, I would have thought in the chat room. Do we honestly think that that's happened before, where they've been exactly the same odds in both opening games? Littler 10-4 is 28 to 1. Is it, Daz? So I was just going to have a little look at a little bit of a breakdown of those games and see what, because I still think, whilst I think Michael Smith is good value at 17 to 10, I think he's probably an awful lot better value at a leg handicap, because Michael Smith plus 2.5 is 7 to 10. Mind you, Luke Littler minus 2.5 is just a scrape under even money. So if that's your taste and you like backing favourites, then that might not be a bad option. Teresa can't back Smith, even though that's what she wants to see, an all Luke final. Yeah, I mean, I think it's about who can find their A. If the Lukes can find their A game, then we will probably see an all Luke final, and a bloody good one at that. Is most likely what's going to happen. But if the Lukes don't find their A game, then it could get a bit messy. It really could get a little bit scrappy, because we've seen from Michael Smith in recent weeks is very, very steady and composed play. We haven't seen monster averages and him coming out and relentlessly banging the treble 20 like we know he can do and he's done in previous years. But I think it's really unpredictable, which is the best way it can be. Let's have a little look. I'm just going to have a message about, see who else might be joining me at some point. What will be interesting is once we get up and running to see what the lag is between me seeing a dart on the TV and the digital dart tracker that's on the screen, and also when it then reaches through to you lot through YouTube, because there is a little bit of a delay, and there always is, and it seems to change quite a lot as well. It seems to be a little bit different all the time when the or how long the delay is through the YouTube streaming system. But we shall see. It'd be interesting to know. If you are, though, and I will remind everyone a couple of times in the chat, if you do find yourself ahead of me and or anybody else because of whatever stream you are watching or however you're watching it, sometimes Sky is ahead of Virgin. If you've got satellite and you've got cable, like there can be slightly different timings on it. You may be ahead of what you're seeing come through from me. Please keep it out of the chat room. Like if we've got results or something monstrous happens, like let me call it and then we can all chat about it. And then as soon as I've called it, everyone gets stuck in. But just don't spoil it for everyone. I wouldn't like anyone who's sat watching it to find out what's going on from the chat room or someone sticking it in. See, we're like really close now, aren't we? 9:15 or 7:15, right? Oh, I think we might be getting another little friend along fairly soon. But look for the final. Yeah, so just so you know, if you don't know already, for these semi-final matches, the right to go first, that what would be in previous weeks won on the bull, if you wish, is earned already in the Premier League by the two Lukes. So their first and second place finishes have won them the chance to throw first in these final legs. Or sorry, in these semi-final matches. So that is a slight advantage, but they have earned it. Don't forget as well, a little bit longer format than we've played in the Premier League this year. So we've been playing first to sixth the last 16 weeks. We are now in the semi-finals playing first to 10. So we go a little bit on as we go. So we're going to play first to 10 in the semi-finals. Then we're going to play first to 11 in the final. I think we're getting really close now. But can't work out what synced to what. I think I've had to rig up all sorts of screens. I will probably at some point take a picture of my setup here. And then, in fact, I want to take a picture and I'm going to stick it on my Twitter. It's rather impressive today. There we go. Right, now, if I can do a little bit of magic here, I think we might be able to be... I think the show's about to get ever so slightly more interesting. Because...
Good evening, Mr. Simpson. How are we?
I'm very well, mate. I'm considerably better than the last time I saw you earlier in the week. When I think probably the last time I saw you, I was a bit wobbly because we did manage to meet up for a bit of a catch up and a few ales in Manchester, didn't we?
We did. We had a few ales. We had a few good games of shuffleboard. I am the undisputed shuffleboard champion of online darts now.
Yeah, I mean it is, and unofficial, because you can you can start an organisation and you can just have a world championship. So I mean, for me, that was I'm now second in the world, I think.
Yeah, a very impressive performance from you to get yourself up to second in the world at that point. Yeah, it was a lovely evening we had on Tuesday, and I saw you all on your own here and thought I'll jump on for a little bit until someone else comes to join us.
Yeah, I think I've pretty much we're pretty much open house tonight. It's though I think anyone the problem is that it's normally a little bit when we do the four-laps and we're coming on at the end of the end of the night. If we've already had a full night of darts, but everyone's finished work for the day, everyone's kids are in bed, everyone's done what they've needed to do for the day. Whereas obviously tonight it's a little bit earlier tonight than we're normally live. So I think everyone's finishing their bits and bobs off in their day, and then we'll be getting rolling, I think, fairly soon.
Get a few in at that point. Yeah. I wasn't going to make an appearance, but it wouldn't be right, would it, to have the Premier League without at some point having me and you on screen at the same time, would it?
Well, I was going to say, we have pretty much bimbled our way through 16 weeks, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we've probably, between us, maybe missed 1 week where neither of us were on. And other than that, I think we've pretty much covered every week.
Yeah, it's been a busy old campaign, but a fun one. I've enjoyed this. I think obviously
tonight, the question in the chat there from Daz Reynolds, God knows, he could be anywhere, couldn't he?
Oh yeah, I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know what he's up to. I think that we're running a bit late here, are we not, Cameron?
I think we are. I was expecting 7:15. We're at 7:18 and we've still not got going.
I was told 7:15.
What picks have you gone for in the end then, Mr. Simpson? Because we know you like to change them between Thursday night and Monday night. What did you go for in the end?
Whatever I said on Monday, and I can't remember.
Now you're putting me into bother here as well, and I've got to admit the fact that I didn't watch on Monday.
Now, what I can remember, and with great certainty, is I've definitely picked Michael Smith and Luke Humphries to make the final. And I've picked Luke Humphries to beat Michael Smith in the final. I can't, without going back and re-watching Monday night's show, recall the specific scores that I gave.
I know what you picked on Thursday night, which was Smith and Humphries to make the final. So we're probably not far off.
That's
and
good.
You had Humphries winning it then as well. I also have Smith and Humphries making the final, but I've got Smith winning it. And I've just noticed that Teresa's in the chat and said that she's can't bring herself to back Smith because she's jinxed. She did tell me earlier that why the hell have you done that when I said that I'd pick Smith? So apologies to her and any other Michael Smith fans out there. He's got absolutely sod all chance now.
Well, I don't know if you were watching much before you came on, but I was just one of the observations because we had a little bit of a chat through about BET MGM's odds for this evening and where they were. So here's one that I cannot remember at all. I can't remember a Premier League final or finals night where we had exactly the same odds in both semi-finals.
Yeah, that is a strange one.
Not only that, but so we've got two Lukes at 11 to 25, and we've got two Michaels at 17 to 10.
Yeah, I didn't touch the individual games market for tonight, but what I did get on earlier was the outright winner, and I also put some money on Smith as well, so he's got even less chance than he had just from me picking it.
Good lord! Well, for me,
you've got to take advantage of the double odds when it's there, haven't you?
And again, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier on. All of the value, let's be honest, 11 to 25, you're not getting, who's back in the win market on either Luke.
Exactly.
It's not so you could double. I mean, you're going to be a shave over evens on both Lukes winning, but then you're going to need two more elements to get your double odds, for your fourfold acca.
Yeah.
So for me, on a night like this, all you can really do is hunt a little bit of value.
We have walk-ons starting, by the way. I was just about to say before the walk-on started that I think I know what time we're going to start at because MGM have got a little countdown on the time for the start of the first game, and it's at 3 minutes and 20 seconds away, which is about two walk-ons away from now. So Litlord looks. Am I going to say he looks nervous? No, I don't. Well, he doesn't look quite as playing with the crowd as sometimes he looks. But
right, do you want before we move on from BET MGM, it is my duty and obligation to say if you are going to have a bet, folks, please do gamble responsibly. BeGambleAware.org, 18 plus, of course. But while he's on, because do you know what's quite nice? I quite like this, the freedom to be able to witter absolute nonsense. Because normally on the Fallout, we're a bit pushed for time, aren't we? We're rattle through game after game after game, quick.
We are with how much we talk, yeah.
Yeah, and also, I'm normally half pissed by then, and it's midnight, so I have to, But
don't mention the fact that we get pissed. We're a serious darts organisation.
That show, however, is called the Fallout Bar, and that show is designed to. We want everyone to pretend that the concept of the show, if you stay with me, is that you have all been to watch the darts, and we've gone to the bar afterwards, and we're going to sit and talk about it, and that's the concept of the show. So it's fine that the predicting wine comes out occasionally.
Absolutely.
And that's all within the spirit of the show. One of the things I was going to say.
What would you say if Littler went 3 tops on 120 tonight? Well, if it happens, I hope it happens after 9 p.m. Otherwise, we may get kicked off the air. Well,
the other thing as well, which and this is, and I do believe this, like, he will do it. If he's on the 120, he'll go for it. If he's on the 120 for the match, then he'll go for it. Like, if he's on the 120 for the title, he'll still go for it, and he'll go for it that way.
I'm not sure. I don't think we see that tonight. I think we see a more serious Luke Littler tonight.
I think Video Smith. It's a 20,000 capacity, isn't it? The O2 Arena.
Roughly around about that, between 18 and 20, I think. Yeah, depending on the setup.
I think depending on the setup, depending on what's on. Now,
as far as tables there, I would imagine it's probably somewhere between about 16 and a half and 18 and a half.
Yeah.
Whereas you get a lot more in if you have standing down there.
Yeah, because you haven't got the standing area, then you've maybe got a bit less space in the front, or a bit less bodies in the front anyway. Right, what's going on? For the Euro Tour tomorrow?
Is there?
Oh, cool.
Teresa says 14K, so we've massively overestimated it.
Right, all right. Do you want, sometimes, and I have been in trouble before for sticking the boot in on, and I'm going to cut on crap sponsors.
Go on.
Right. Like crap sponsors. So, the Dutch Darts Championship, day 1.
Yep.
The official title is the Elton Safety Shoes Dutch Darts Championship.
That's a top quality sponsor, that.
Now,
I want to see anyone that makes the final day have to play in some Elton Safety shoes.
I want the trophy to be a golden boot, like a golden.
Yeah. And also a pair of.
Yeah, a golden steel toe cap boot. That's what I want. 100%.
We are underway in the finals.
Right. Why 4 then?
Are we underway? No, I've gone too early. No, we are underway. 96 for Luke Littler kicks us off.
Right, hang on then. Do I need
I think it caught the guy doing it on Sky a little bit off guard there as well, to be fair.
I was going to say, it's caught the guys on because we're still on match about to start on.
He started 96 and then 140 while this catches up. Michael Smith has started with 46 and then 90 something.
Raymond, 11th of June, next Pro Tour. Obviously, there's a bit of darts on between now and then because we've got the US. We're going to America we're not. I know no one's invited me. If anybody wants to invite me.
I know, I've not invited either of us to.
I'm happy to, take a bit of time off. And
I think the wine bill for me and you puts us out of contention for it, I think.
I'll fund my own wine. If somebody just wants to put me up, fly me there and put me up.
Yeah, to be fair, I'll do the same. Quite happy to go. Littler's left 68 after 12, I think, here. And Michael Smith has left 105.
Why is this taking ages to get?
2 darts. Luke Littler takes the lead. 68 and 2, 48, double 10. Comfortable as you like.
We're
Yeah,
still
it's very much caught them off guard here, so I'll just I'll keep waffling for now. 140.
Sorry, mate. I know I've lifted it, but I'm just clicking around trying to get this.
Yeah, no, you're all right.
As I say, I've
start,
back into it, and it's not.
Yeah, it's not having it at the moment.
It's telling me
we're starting very nicely here.
Those countdowns are amazing. They're relentlessly good. Those. Much about.
Tell you what, it's an opportunity for an early break if you can get a decent little visit here. You'll get first go at a double in the second leg. Left 146. Smith back on 201. Tasty little 134 there from Michael Smith to leave 67, but this could go. Oh, that's unlucky. 67 for a hold. Tops. Yeah, cleaned up by Michael Smith. We are one apiece.
Come on.
What is going on here?
I really don't know, mate.
136 to start the second leg from Luke Littler. And 85 from Bully. I'm all for a bit of the Saudi Pro League, Dan, but I'm not sure it's what the people have come for.
I'm having to click about in the hope of getting something that's bloody working.
Yeah. And what are we on here? 265 for Littler, plays 276 for Michael Smith in leg 3.
We don't want to watch Al Shabab.
No. 121 for Littler there. Little wild last start. Leaves himself 144 after 9.
They do have one, Anthony. I'm not sure how happy they are with it being used on a live stream.
And we have our first 180 of finals night. Michael Smith, the 180. Oh, hello. And he loses the leg as Luke Littler takes out 144.
Oh, that is brutal. Right, let me just have a little play around.
This is fantastic. That 144 was for a 12 darter, by the way. So Littler has started with 14 and 12 dart legs on his own throw. And he's in again. 174 to start the next leg from Littler on Smith's throw after Smith started with a ton. And we have our first flashing 9 of the night. It doesn't flash these days, but... Oh, that's perfect. Surely. Oh, hello. We have a 180 to follow it. 147 left for the 9 in leg 4 of the semi-final. Smith can't leave a finish. Yes. Boom.
Oh, never.
7 perfect darts from Luke Littler. He's still in a very good spot here to wrap this up. He actually went treble 19 there as well, rather than the expected route of treble 17 on 147. So he's trying to leave 30. Smith can only leave 148, 52 for the first break of the game.
So I'll tell you what's annoying.
10, and it goes. 3-1, Luke Littler. Break of throw on his favourite double 10.
Tell you what's irritating, right? That clearly PDC live scores are powered by the same system.
And they're working, and this one isn't.
No, that's exactly the same. That literally says, so I'll drag it across just so you can see it. See, match about to start. We've got exactly this.
Somebody's has gone down here, hasn't it? Someone's connection.
Someone's definitely had a day off today, haven't they? They're having a day on the sick. Now, I mean, 3-1.
3-1. Luke Littler is averaging 118.55 at the moment. And looking very, very good for going 4-1 up here. So 1-4. So his average is just going up. 119.64 now. This is just spectacular darts.
Anyway, back from here. 117.4 average. Wow. Up to 818.5.
Yeah, it keeps going up. And he takes the 92 out. I think that's another 12 darter, and he's 4-1 up already.
And that's 2 breaks
Michael
across.
Smith is not playing badly here, but as tends to happen when you are getting a bit of a towel in by someone who's playing ridiculously well, his third one bounces out of the treble 20 as well, and he misses out on a 180.
Do you know that 92 as well? He started off straight in the 5.
Yeah, I know. And then the treble 19.
He's rescued that 92. He's gone treble 19, double 15 for 92.
Bully's just had another 180 there as well. So if he hadn't had the bounce out on that third part of the first visit, it would be on the 9. It hit the treble as well. It was very unfortunate. But he's doing what he needs to do here to give himself a chance to get back in this game. He's left 105 after 9.
It's
still
under
massive pressure from Littler here.
That's it, because it's only a 4,
Yeah. He needs
4 after 5 on the doubles for Luke Littler at this point.
I'm surprised he's not gone the 25 route there on 105, but he's left 8, but will he get a shot? He will. First time that Littler's gone trebleless in a visit, I think. Quite possibly to this point. I can't think of another one so far. And Michael Smith holds with first dart, double 4, 8 points. Gets him another leg on the board, but he needs something on this leg, you feel. You don't want to see Littler getting too far ahead. Back-to-back trebleless visits. That is only 58 from Littler to start the leg. 100 from Smith.
Maybe holding the door open ever so slightly, do you think?
140 for Littler gets him sort of back in it here. Smith needs 2 trebles, really. I don't know where that last one was. No trebles is certainly not going to do it. 60 from Smith, and Littler doesn't leave a finish, but is in control of this leg as it stands right now. And even more so now after that. 93 from Smith only gets him down to 248. Littler on 204. Oh, we've got the scores up now. I just
it's still behind you, to be honest, mate, because like the flash score are all right, but they're not
quite as rapid.
They're not quite as rapid. No, like I am giving them I've given that
quite like that from Littler. Littler going the 16s route on 104, trying to leave himself tops. Oh, bully. What's he left there? He's left himself 34. Littler's got 56 for another hold, though. And takes it out in 2. Very, very comfortable. He made that look very easy.
But he's getting pushed, though, on throw there. And
he is.
And that didn't happen for the, it didn't happen early, but this is a race to 10 and he's 5-2 ahead.
Already. And it feels quick as well, doesn't it?
And that's a trebleless opening visit as well from Michael Smith, who can't find a treble on throw. He's been broken relentlessly in this game.
Starting 60 and then 80 is not gonna get you too far against this kid.
You know, Michael Smith, however, though, remains 100% on the doubles. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Now, that does also tell me that he's just not getting chance to get doubles because
exactly.
He's just smashing through legs. But, I mean, that was a much-needed treble from Smith there. But you're probably going to say it from this point, if Luke can find
like 6-2, isn't it? It's looking like 6-2, and 6-2 is a problem.
It is because at 6-2, Littler's back on throw again. We might not get to the break here. We've got a break, haven't we?
A break after 10, I would imagine. I think we'll get there.
Oh, crikey.
That's not good enough again. And 88 here for a break now for Littler. 2 darts at double 14. Oh, misses 2 outside. This has to go, Michael Smith. 86. Treble 18. Oh, that's a long way inside it. Single, the bullseye, and we have a first missed double of the match for Michael Smith as he hits the 25.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's going to be back though. 2 misses inside from Littler. He's gone inside 14s, inside 7s. He's set up 4.
See that
but
very often.
we have 25 for Michael Smith here. 5 for double 10. Oh, you can't miss those. You cannot miss those. 1 outside, 1 inside. And as we know, nobody misses double 2.
I was going to say, you say you can't miss those.
No, you can't. But Littler's missed inside twice as well. He's the first person ever to miss double 2 there, I think.
Goodness
Nobody
me.
misses double 2, does he?
I mean, I heard a tale once that it had happened, but I thought they were.
I think someone was mistaken there.
I think
dear.
they were definitely mistaken.
Michael Smith, he's gone from 100% on his doubles to about 3% on his doubles here. That is 3 missed at double 5. He's left himself 5. And this time round, double 2 is not missed. He's 6-2 down. Is that all she wrote already, Mr. Simpson? What do we think?
I mean, Luke's on throw now.
I know. That's what I mean. I think, are we done
It's
here?
rapido, isn't it? I mean, his average. I mean, to be honest, that one leg where he's so going into that last leg, Luke's average was 109. It's plummeted down now. He's averaging 101. He's lost 8 points off his average in that one leg. But now if most other players, if you went, they've just lost 8 points off their average, I'd think, oh shit, they're in trouble. But he's 6-2 up on throw.
Under a little bit of pressure here on throw though. He's 34 behind before these, and then Michael Smith scored 23.
Oh, Michael.
That is bobbins. You fancy it to get punished here as well, to be fair.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the right things at the right time, but that opportunity there to get ahead and break and get a leg back, to chuck a 23 is not the right things at the wrong time.
Unless you've got 23 left, 23 is never the right thing at the right time. Littler can't take out 126 though, so Smith will be back for 63, which, as we all know, the only way to go is 25 double 19. He's not gone that way, obviously. There's only me that goes that way. He has missed tops though. Didn't find a treble, so only got 1 dart at tops. He's missed it, and Littler is back for the same target, and that could not be any more in the middle than where that has gone. That is the perfect dart at tops. 7-2. And now I really do think that might be it. Well, I have jinxed Michael Smith in double quick time tonight.
Yeah, you really have. You really have, mate, because it's starting to rain again up here.
Oh, it never rains in Manchester.
Oh, I could just hear some of that. I was thinking, what's that? It's the bleeding rain on the.
Yeah, none of that in Manchester. As you know, when you came up on Tuesday, it was beautiful.
Do you know what? When I came up to Manchester on Tuesday, it was actually beautiful. It was properly stunning.
He did rain a little bit on the way home, but
mind you, the following morning I was working in Bury, and I could barely get to Bury because all the bloody roads were flooded. I couldn't get. I'd been in Bolton, and then I struggled to get from Bolton to Manchester, and then there was an absolutely glorious day, but it was grim. And then I was only in Bury for the day, and I drove straight home, and that was grim as well, because if I only see about a metre in front of me the whole way home.
Tell you what, this is Michael Smith is struggling here. It's far too many darts in the one at the moment. And Luke Littler has 25 left to go, 8-2 in front and another break of throw. Oh, he's missed double 10. That doesn't happen very often.
That doesn't happen very often at all. But
apologies, Teresa. I've just seen your message in the chat. I do apologise for jinxing him, but
it's
just what I do.
It is. I mean, it is what you do.
I am consistent at least, and he's just missed 3 darts at 30 there as well. Littler back for double 5. He's missed as well. This has got a little bit scrappy, this, hasn't it, the last couple of legs?
It certainly has.
Michael Smith back for 30 again. Generally likes double 15. That's too far outside. That's still too far outside. But he finds it.
Wow.
Back within 4 and off to the break we go.
Yeah, it's only a hold though, that in it as well.
Yeah. But it feels like a big hold there. It feels almost a little bit like a break because he should comfortably have lost that leg.
I mean, yeah, you could say that about nearly all of them, couldn't you?
Yeah. He should have been 8-2 down here, and 8-2 down, you're thinking it's absolutely over. At 7-3, if he gets out, gets a break in the first leg when we come out of it, gets it back to 7-5, maybe, just maybe, he can worry him a little bit. But not that anything particularly seems to worry Luke Littler, to be fair.
I tell you what, every single live dart scoring software going down Premier League finals night is
Have we heard from? Oh, we've just heard from Bars, to be fair. So the internet must be working at least in the arena, but
have we heard? Oh, is he?
He sent you a link for Flash Score, but we've already.
Oh, he sent me a link to the one I was already using.
Yeah, way ahead of him.
Andy, Charles summed it up. Can't say that till after 9 o'clock, but he's accurate.
Everything is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you what I notice on my television a lot is lots and lots of very young footballers advertising male skincare. Like
yes, yeah, you've just seen the advert with Harvey Elliott with his Super Noodles hair advertising some Nivea products. Other skincare products are available.
They are, but I don't want to hear that from someone his age. Not as decrepit as I'm starting to feel. I need someone older and more decrepit than me saying this works. Like that's on it.
Yeah, it's
He doesn't need it yet. Excalibur 5 out of 7 watching here are crying. Oh, some Michael Smith fans struggling.
Yeah. Apologies again to all of you because it's
your fault.
My fault.
It is your fault. It's
not over till it's over, though, guys. As we know.
No, I was just trying to look at the. There's the money. The money. We can normally see the money, can't we?
What's that? The old prize money.
Yeah. So weekly winner bonus, 10 grand. 8th place, 60 grand. 7th place, 65 grand. 6th place, 70. 5th place, 75. 2 losing semi-finalists, £85,000. So everyone tonight is going to do a bare minimum 85 grand win.
Which sounds all right, but let's be honest, over the course of 17 weeks, there's only 5 grand a week.
Well, but it also, as well, is it doesn't count on their ranking either.
On the ranking either.
Well,
so add to that, Michael Smith's got 2 nightly wins as well for another 20 grand.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not as much as there's a lot of money in the Premier League. It's not that well paid, considering you have to faff about every week, going everywhere you want to go.
Yeah, runner-up 125 grand, and the winner on £275,000.
Yeah, that's the one you want to be taking home, isn't it? And we are back out and back underway. Trebleless visit from Littler. It's on here. I've called the comeback already. It's on. No, that's a 1 from Michael Smith. 81 though. It's
when you just said it's a 1, I thought, what? I was thinking, what, with 3 darts?
No, that was his first dart. That was all.
One at someone else.
Yeah. Littler's left himself 350 so that he can try and leave 170 with a 180. He literally went 17s last start there rather than the 19s he just hit. You wouldn't put it past him either, would you? 2 in, 3 in, he's left the 170. He's like a snooker player. He's thinking about his setup shot 4 shots ahead.
Certainly it's right, Daz. Let me have a little look for you. If I can find it, it's not very well laid out.
Yes. Oh, boo. 93 scored. He missed the second one at the treble. He's got 77 for another hold, though. Bully's left 50. Treble 19. Ooh, that's close to double. Oh, he's missed 2 more at double 10. 2 more at double 10 go by. And now 50 for Michael Smith. That is a break of throw. The comeback isn't, maybe not quite on yet, but the comeback is starting.
You get too giddy too quick. Dazzy's not playing this weekend in the Elton Safety Shoes Dutch Darts Championship.
He must be fuming that he's missed out on that.
Well, imagine the pair of shoes that could be on offer.
Yeah. 95 to start for Smith, 96 for Littler in this leg on Smith's throw.
I feel like that's happened recently, that sponsorship, because I'm fairly confident that I wrote a report about what happened in the qualifiers, and I would have definitely mentioned.
You'd have remembered that, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
You'd absolutely have remembered that.
100% remembered that sponsor and their name. So it must have come quite. It must have come quite late in the process.
Yeah. Both of them failed to leave a finish from the mid 200s there. Smith's got 178 left. Could do with a treble. Doesn't find one. Leaves Shanghai. He will not go 3 tops. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, there is.
Littler on 207. What can he leave? 100 leaves 107. So Michael Smith, a chance to get back within 2, which he's not been for a while in this game.
He hasn't at all.
It's on.
Well, yeah, he hasn't for a very long time, in fact.
The dart of the treble just stood up a little bit, and I think he just overpitched it trying to get over it. Luke Littler. Oh, that's magic. That is magic. Single 19, treble 16, double top, 107 out, and we're back to a 4-leg gap again now.
And that was another break of throw. So that puts this match even further away from Michael Smith.
Yeah, he got that break back straight out of the break. You're thinking he's got a chance here, and then Littler goes and does that.
With the greatest of respect to Michael Smith, a lot of people, we've all, and we did it as well, it's just another occasion, isn't it, of everybody just thinking, well, he can't do it again. No, he's not going to get to finals night. He's not going to. He's not going to win the league, is he? He's not going to win the league stage. Oh, he does. Yeah, he's not going to get their final, is he? Oh no, here we go again.
He did again. That's another 180, 4th 180 of the match for Luke Littler to leave 42. Michael Smith back on 261. Good visit. 140 leaves 121, but you don't really fancy this here. Oh my God, he's nearly missed the 2. Right. But he takes out the top second up. Yeah, it was. He very nearly missed the 2. That was very close to being in the 17 there. But he goes 1 away, and you never want to let him get 1 away, do you?
Well, not when you're 6 away. That's
no, absolutely, yeah. If you're 1 away, you let him get 1 away. You wouldn't worry as much, but
if you're going to let someone get 1 away, ideally you also want to be 1 away and on throw.
And having the throw next, absolutely. It's a great start to this leg from Michael Smith. He's gone 140, 180.
But again, I mean, this is
and then 135.
It's a bit of a meaningless leg because it's a hold.
Yep.
So even though Smith could throw a 9 darter here, it gives him no more chance of winning the game than he had before the leg. Like the only way he wins this is he stops Luke Littler from holding.
Tell you what, it's a bloody good 11 daughter. If he can carry on playing like that, he could still win this. But to do that religiously every leg against Luke Littler, it still might not be enough the way Littler's playing.
I was going to say, because Littler needs one leg, doesn't he? Needs one leg.
He's got Man City at Wembley, someone's just said in the chat this weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's got.
To be honest, there's more. He could rock up and play, and they'd have more chance of winning that one, to be fair.
Well, of course, me being a Newcastle fan, I will be wearing my Manchester City kit at the weekend, because if Man City beat Man United, that's our ticket into Europe done. That's the.
You get your Europa League rather than the old.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the no, so we'll get the Europa Conference. Man United will get no European football at all.
Oh, of course, you didn't finish 5th, did you? Finish 6th.
No, so basically, if Manchester United win, they go into the Europa League, and if Man City win, we get our spot in the Europa Conference. And I've seen some of the pops for teams in that, and some of them are bobbins. We could do bits in there.
Yeah, I fancied Littler to take out that 170 to win it, but he has taken out the 65, and that is the first semi-final done in what feels like no time at all.
It does. It's a bit underwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very underwhelming when you back Michael Smith, but it's also you want it to be close, don't you? And it could have been, to be fair, even with how well Littler played compared to how well you'd say Smith played. There were opportunities in there. He's missed a lot of darts at double in legs that he could have.
Do you know when it started working?
When it's finished?
It recorded the last 3 darts.
Oh, good work. Well done.
Now but it is a positive sign. It is a positive sign for the next game.
What, if we get the last 3 darts of that one as well? That shows you how quickly that first game's ended, because we've still got 20 minutes on the countdown here until the next one.
Yeah, and sometimes they make you keep to that, you see, because of the various different things that are in play.
Well, they'll probably interview Littler for 15 minutes of that, and then they'll have another little video of him for a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll drop Fallon in at some point as well. I'm sure she'll make an appearance.
It is. I just had to have another look over the match there to check whether or not Luke got broken. He did, actually.
Yeah, first one out of the
out after the break. Yeah, but then it's only a break if you hold your own throw, and immediately.
Hey, you don't be starting throwing cliches in. That's my job.
So that's what we're here for. The MODUS,
it's just a very comprehensive victory, that, isn't it? He's basically outdone him on every start except for the 140s, but he was only one off him in that as well.
So Excalibur's comments there looks like it looks like someone.
I thought there was some spam.
No, well, do you know what it looks like? I had a mate once who went. Well, he's still my mate, but he went wild on sports gambling, and he ended up in a little bit of bother. And they're exactly the conversations. I'd ask him something, he'd be like, "Yeah, women's college softball, Eastern Conference, something." I'd be like, "Yeah, you need to keep away from them, maniac."
Yeah.
The greatest day in motorsports, Wayne, fill me in. The greatest.
It's a Monaco Grand Prix.
Is that what's on? Is it?
That is this weekend.
Wow, marvellous. Good evening, Lendl. Andrew's in as well. Chat room's been banging tonight. We're doing numbers. Yeah, he is a bit good, this lad, Lendl. He's a canny player, and he's got a bit of something.
I think if he keeps this up, he could go quite far, I think.
Well, the thing is, he's won at a canter there. If you look at the stats, like he's won it, and I know there were moments in that game where he's averaging, 110, 109, but they were early in the game. That's when you've only got a handful of legs with which to build an average from. They're sort of false statistics in some ways. But he has won it at a canter in the end. And yes, he got broken once, but if you're gonna get broken once, get broken when you're 7-3 up. It's just the hard work was already done.
Especially if you're then going to go and break straight back as well.
Yeah, Indy 500 and NASCAR Cup 600. Yeah, so the Americans know Excalibur's on it, Indy 500.
Yeah.
So, it's not something and I do profess, I've watched I watch all the most obscure sports, more to come on that at some point.
Yeah. We'll get that in there at some point.
We'll get that in. But I am a man who will watch the 4 annual sumo tournaments from Japan, and I'll watch the highlights every day. But the Indy 500 is genuinely it's an event that has bypassed me. I wonder if it's shown. It must be shown.
Yeah, no, it is. I watched it. I've watched it twice, I think. I watched it. The first time I watched it was 2017 when Fernando Alonso skipped the Monaco Grand Prix because it's always on the same weekend to go and do the Indy 500 for Andretti instead, because he wanted to try and get that leg of the motorsport Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Didn't end up winning it, but then I did watch it again. I think maybe last year or the year before. I can't remember. I find Formula One more interesting because they're not just going round in a circle constantly.
I mean, I'll give you that. Yeah.
But I think it's like anything. Once you get into watching it, if you've got a reason to watch it, like someone that you quite like, especially like when Alonso did it, it does become quite interesting. You get quite invested in it.
I can see that would be I can definitely see that would be a thing.
I'm going to leave you on your own for a moment because I'm not dropping off, but I'm just going to mute myself and nip and get a beverage, and then I'll be back with you.
That's not a problem, mate. Thankfully, we've got loads going on in the chat room, so I'm going to have a quick look. I think Daz was after a little bit of an odds update, so I'm going to go. I'll flick back to both our sponsors and sponsors of the BET MGM Premier League darts. BET MGM, of course. They've not got live odds, Daz, at the moment on a night winner. Oh, I can't see one anyway. If there's one on the website there somewhere, it's not apparent where I can find it. All the odds I can find are just for Humphries and Van Gerwen. Because I suppose what they'll probably is they won't want to offer odds on that until they know who is going to play in the final, in order to cover themselves. Lendo, we've talked a lot about the format. Now, I know that this comment makes me quite unpopular, but I don't dislike the current format. I've quite enjoyed watching it on TV this year. I think the players become stale more than the format does in terms of looking at Premier League year on year on year. I find that there's players that go stale way before the format. I think the format's all right. I've also been lucky enough last year and this year to be across last year and this year under this format. I've probably been. Oh, Glenn's on the telly. Good evening, mate. I've probably been at 10 Premier League nights, various different venues, and I love it in the venue. You get more for your money in that you feel like you're seeing a little tournament, you're seeing somebody win something, you are seeing the best players in the world multiple times. You see, I really enjoy it, and I know loads of people don't. There's loads of people. I said it on the live lounge on Monday. Everyone else, every other members of the team, everyone else in the chat room thinks I'm a maniac, but I quite like it. The thing that I think is missing from the format, and that we could have benefited from this year, and I don't know if there's a way of tying the two together, is that we've seen the Premier League get on top of people's careers. We've seen the Premier League become too much for someone to bear and people be really negatively affected by being in the Premier League. I think in the old format where we used to have 2 people relegated, what that did is it gave them an out. And I guarantee you, if after 7-8 weeks this year, you'd have, like, Peter Wright and Gerwin Price would have been relieved to have been relegated. Like, they would have both thought, right, I've done, I went along with it, I did my bit, it didn't quite work. But because of the format that we've got now, that reprieve isn't there.
I think you could still do it, though. And I don't think it would take away from it. You bring back the contenders.
Well, so, this is the
you get thing. 2 contenders in every week. They've got a chance to win 10 grand, which they wouldn't usually get. And then the players that have had enough get to go on the way and try and get back to some form away from the big stage of the Premier League.
So that, for me, as I say, I'm in the very small minority that enjoy the format. I quite like it.
I like it as well.
Like, I really don't I really don't dislike the format at all. But I think then that's a really, I like that. Like, go with 12, 4 get relegated. It fits into 16 weeks. Like, I like that. Like, I really do enjoy that. I would like to retain this sort of tournament bracket format where if you go as a punter, you get to see, like, your favourite the biggest dart players in the world.
Winner.
2-3 times potentially in the, you see, you get, it's more value for money in the arena. Like, we watch darts on the telly. Like, I'm not having it. People, it gets a bit boring. I know some of the darts these people tune into, and some of it is bombing, some of it's crap. Like, and these people are watching crap darts and all sorts of. Don't tell me that it's boring. Like, you're watching it enough to get bored.
I'll tell you what they have got right this year, and like say people like Teresa just said it in the chat. Then this year's been much better than last year, and it has because they got the players right. Like, they got the players right this year.
I think that's a stretch. I think they did a better job.
That's only because Dolby's not in it.
No, I don't think so. I think that I think I won't. I don't think the Premier League has been enriched this year by having Wright and Price in there.
No, but
they've taken more than
if they'd played like they can. Like, I don't think any of us saw Gezi playing like this throughout the tournament, especially not when he made a final on night 1.
No, and I accept.
I think Gezi's fine. I think Wright I would go with, and I wouldn't have had Wright in there, but I would have had Gezi in there.
I think I would like to retain a tournament bracket format because I think it's great on the night. It's brilliant. As I say, I've been lucky enough, as you have as well, to take in this format and a number of different venues. And it's really good. I don't dislike it on the TV. It gives us plenty to talk about. We see people in different scenarios. We do get to see different combinations of games week on week because we see different people. We see the same group of players playing each other, but sometimes they're playing each other in a final, and sometimes they're playing each other. And it's a bit different. But
and it's not that repetitive. That was the whole thing that was leveled at it at the start. That we'll just see them all playing each other all the time. But we've seen it throughout this. People have not played each other for like 6-7 weeks, even with the format. So,
but I don't buy that. It's repetitive. What is it? Well, you like darts, and these are the best players in the world. It's like,
I don't want to see the best players in the darts playing each other every week.
This is what I mean. It's like being a football fan and going, what? Man City and Real Madrid playing each other again? For boring. Like, come on.
Dan Simpson. Now Newcastle have got a bit of oil money. He wants the Super League back, and he wants to see the best teams playing the best teams every single week.
I want to see the very richest teams playing the very richest teams.
Dolby and Cullen instead of Price and Wright. Dolby instead of Wright, yes. Cullen instead of Price, absolutely not. Not even in a million years.
I think
Cullen's not been playing well enough for a start. No chance. He'd have had less points than Gezi got.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think it was the right pick at the time. I don't think you could have made the case for it in February. That was the pick.
Smashy Rashy, what was the old format? The old format was simply they all just played once on the night, and there was just a league that went throughout the course of the 16 weeks to finalise the top four. You could draw back in those days. I do miss a draw. A draw was fun.
Well, that was it. You had 10 players and 4 games per night, and so you just there was 4 games per each week, and then over the course of it, they all played each other a couple of times, and that was it. And then that was just a league. You got point. I think 2 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, or however it worked. Top 4 got through to finals night. It's very similar, but I like the tournament format, but I do think that the Premier League is better for having a midway relegation, and I also maintain that I think the players are better for it as well. I
want a secondary league of players slightly below the top players. It's essentially the championship darts, and then it'll just be more fun because the championship's more fun than the Premier League, and they just go at it. And then the next year, 2 of them get promoted, and the 2 that were relegated end up down in the championship. I think we're about to get underway with the walk-ons for the second semi-final. Before we do that, because at some point I'm going to mention some cricket at some point, because I always will. I don't know if I mentioned it. I've got a cricket podcast. The most boring man in the world that always talks about his podcast.
Great plugs.
T20 Blast down at the bottom there, down in the corner. But yeah, the reason I'm going to talk about it, not just because I'm boring, is because Daz did ask before who is winning the 2020 World Cup. I think that we might see England win it. We've had a lot of players in very good form in the IPL, and they are all in our top order, which always helps. You've got 4 of them that have made centuries in Joss Buttler, Will Jacks, Johnny Burstow, and did we have one more? Maybe only 3 of them made centuries, but also Phil Salt, who averaged about 50 and was scoring at nearly 200 strike rate. So you got all them 4 in the top 4. You then got Harry Brook and Livy and the rest to come. I think we've got a really good chance, but India look very good as well.
Well, because it's my last chance. Well, I don't know. They might sponsor us to do something else, so I might say it's my last chance. I hope it isn't. Please sponsor us more. But I did just have a quick look over on BET MGM there. England 21-4 for the outright winners of the ICC T20 World Cup 2024. As you rightly pointed out, India the favourites at 14-5. With BET MGM, those odds. If you do have a go at that, please, again, like always, make sure you gamble responsibly.
Maybe just wait until a couple of days before it to have your punt, because you might just get a little double odds offer, because they threw one in for the Masters as well. So
I tell you what, I didn't realise is that England wouldn't be favourite to win their group.
No.
You would expect them to deal with Scotland and Namibia.
Yes, not a concern, those 2, not the superpowers of the cricket.
Do they have cricket? I didn't know they had cricket. And we've normally got a few Scottish folks in the chat room. I didn't know they had cricket.
Scotland.
I've driven through Scotland loads. I've never once seen a cricket pitch.
It's because the weather doesn't particularly lend itself to it. They actually used to play in the T20 Blast.
Was it indoors then?
No, they used to play in the T20 Blast as a county rather than as their own country. They were playing domestic cricket rather than international cricket for a while. Luke Humphries is just taking to the stage at the moment with his, I assume, with still his new walk-on, which is absolutely...
So while he's on the stage, right, I've found that Mr. John McDonnell, for those that don't know, the man that's announcing the players to the stage, John McDonnell is prolific on the various different celebrity video message websites. So I can't remember his exact price, but let's say under £30, John McDonnell will do you customised videos.
Really?
And I may or may not be teeing something up for an occasion next year when I'm best man at a wedding. And I think it will be absolutely ideal to have John McDonald announce me when I come out to make my speech.
That would be fantastic. We may have to do the same. Just to confirm, Mr. Simpson's not my best man, unfortunately.
No, it's
mine is friend of the show, Charlie Eaton. Who,
well,
if we could get John McDonald to introduce him as well, that would be excellent. I might have to participate in this.
We need someone sober. He's the designated driver and soberman, isn't he? That's the
He is, yeah, the best sober man that can be trusted to put a speech together.
This is the thing.
If you see the rest of my groomsmen, as you will meet them at the wedding, Mr. Simpson, none of them can be.
Yeah, I understand that challenge. Now, I tell you what, it will be a challenge. It will be. I put the challenge out to these various different live scoring. So, have we got points in the board yet at your end?
No points in the board as yet.
Right, you are slightly.
We do have a poll from the Sky Sports Darts Twitter with a 71% in favour of Luke Humphries winning this.
I can't see anything other. Like, I really can't see anything other than.
We have points in the board. Oh, hello, we're working.
What's this?
Look at this. We are bang on time here.
Now we've started. Now everything I dreamt this Watchalong would be is now coming to fruition.
Yeah, we've just started. Luke Little start like an absolute train in the first game with nothing on the match tracker. And we get the match tracker up and working, and we have no treble in the first 6 darts.
Yeah. Correct. I tell you what, that is a dreadful start from Michael van Gerwen. 2 trebleless visits. I appreciate he's not on throw. Right, I'm just gonna do a little bit of admin.
Oh, that's a rogue one from Mr. Humphries there. The first 180 of the final to leave 26 when he was well ahead in the leg. I have no idea why he's done that, and he might just cause himself a bit of bother here. Nope. Second dart, 1-0.
There we go. That'll do you. Double 13. Not one regularly teed up the double 13.
Well, certainly not in the first leg when you've got a sizable lead on your own throw.
I don't dislike a double 13, you know.
No, it's that sort of area of the board. It's all right, isn't it? I hit it a lot when I'm going for double 4.
I was about to. I dislike it when I'm going for double 4. That's when I really dislike it.
I can't miss it at that point.
Michael van Gerwen, little bit better at scoring at this point on his own throw.
Yeah, gets himself a chance to leave a finish here. Down on the Cam McFarlane section of the board, as it's known, on the 19s.
You are a relentless. Well, I was about to say you are a relentless hitter of the 19s. You are
a relentless hitter of the treble 7.
You're a relentless aimer for the 19s.
Yes, that is correct. Second 180 for Humphries. Michael van Gerwen tees up the champagne shot, but cannot do it. 81 for a 2-0 lead early on.
A very early break of throw.
They weren't very good, though. They were pretty poor. You can't see that on the old match tracker below us, but to the side of us, sorry. But they were pretty bobbins, them two at double 12 from Humphries. The first one was very high, and the second one was a good centimetre inside.
Yeah, he's had an opportunity there. He's had 2 darts for an early break, and it will be interesting to see if that does come back to haunt him a little bit later in the game. Also,
something we were talking about last Thursday, me and you, Mr. Simpson. Michael van Gerwen is using the same darts he used last week, not the usual darts.
Yes, I did notice that was the dart of choice this week. The UK Open winners, as it were.
He's got himself a bit of a lead in this second leg.
Just trying to adjust things so that we can see both the score and the I don't really want to zoom out anymore because I think I want it as big on the screen as we can get.
Yeah.
But I think we can just about see the score at the top.
Yeah.
He's got a considerable lead against the throw, Michael Van Gerwen, and he will get an opportunity.
Although Humphries leaves 83, so it's under pressure, this shot now. Starts with a 7, aiming for the 19s. That's very Cal McFarlane-esque. But then he takes it out. Double 18. What a break of throw early for Michael Van Gerwen, who was written off by 71% of people on the Sky Sports poll.
And all the bookmakers and pretty much everyone who's done a pick for this match. I've not seen anyone pick. I'll tell you what, and I will put my hands up to him because it won't surprise anyone. But the famous Mr. Phil Bars, he did pick Michael Van Gerwen.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't mean anything. That just means that Michael Van Gerwen's playing.
Yeah, it means
I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if he missed out on the top 4 and Phil Barge still would have picked him to win.
Yeah, it just means that Michael Van Gerwen's played darts and someone's told Phil Bars it's happening. That's
it. Right. It absolutely has just picked it. 1-3-3 from Humphries. Seeing a lot of 19s hitting in this game. I'm absolutely loving this.
It's a big score that from Humphries, though, just to get that.
Pressure on here, though. He put himself in a bit of bother there, did Van Gerwen. Well, I say a bit of bother. Basically, what happened was he threw a really nice treble 20, but he blocked it and he couldn't stay there. So, ball.
Oh, you do.
There we go. The 1-3-2 goes.
You know what I love as well? I love whenever it comes on the screen. Now, so Sky called it. Sky Sports called on their checkout ball double 16. Not everybody does that, and the tracker that we used on the screen here, that was looking for a first start treble 20. Did not get it. Was not what was going on at all.
No, it's the only way to go. If you go any other way, you're an idiot.
You're a bottler as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really
so once again, use the cliche, Mr. Simpson. What was that break from Michael Van Gerwen?
Even completely irrelevant. It didn't happen because it's only a break of throw.
Because he didn't hold.
It's only a break of throw if you then hold your own throw. So that break from Michael Van Gerwen, it didn't happen. It doesn't exist. Yeah. It's no longer. And we're back in a situation where the fact that Luke Humphries came first in the... Sorry, he didn't come first. Came second in the league. But the fact
he did what in the...
The fact that he came in the top 2 does give him...
hello.
To throw
it's nearly gone 1-3-2 followed by a 170 in the next leg.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Michael back on 183, he's gonna get like.
Yeah, but I like that he went for
surprised. He'd be very surprised.
We get a 9 tonight, Daz. I would like one, but I don't think we do.
Oh, there we go.
Hold of throw.
3-2. Hold of throw. This one a little bit.
Other than the first sort of 12 darts, this has been a very enjoyable watch so far. I mean,
it's been a little bit tenser as well. Now, let me just have a little bit of I'm going to have a little bit of a click around here in the background.
You're doing a bit of magic. Are we going to?
And then I think that we might very shortly be joined.
Are we getting 2 more?
Oh, hang on, no.
Oh, Mr. Simpson, so close. We've all got our line through our faces.
I don't know if we've got a 3. Have we got a 3? Let me see.
We must have a 3.
That's a 2. That's no good. Oh,
there's got to be a 3.
There isn't. No, you know what? There isn't,
Can you add an extra person into the bottom one so it at least puts us in the into the boxes? Like, just put like a nobody.
I'm tinkering around with at the minute.
Hey, you're getting good at this technical stuff.
I don't know if I am, But while I'm tinkering around, Cowan, how are you, my friend? Are you good?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, I quite like this new line through the center of my face look. Some would say
it's not bad,
but no. Yeah, no, good, thank you. Yeah, I heard you comment there, barring the first 12 darts, been a very good game, and I think despite them wanting both to win, obviously, I feel like there's mutual respect here between arguably one of the greatest of all time and current world number one. So it's a real battle. I actually thought this would have been the final before night 16 of the Premier League. Then.
Oh, you were really looking ahead, weren't you? Yeah,
well, I get carried away sometimes.
I like it. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so we have had another break of throw from Mr. Humphries. And not the greatest start on his own darts, but Van Gerwen's followed it, which, he's all over the place here. This is Bobbins. This is Cam McFarlane-esque again.
Anyways, what's going on? I'm still trying to work out these.
It's a treble 7 again, going for the 19s.
Yeah, he hasn't quite settled yet, has he?
No, but Humphries isn't exactly lighting it up in this leg. A good visit here, and that sort of a good visit will do it. 180 for Michael Van Gerwen, gets himself right back in this, and actually possibly even favourite for the leg at this stage.
So
I think it does, because, as you say, Humphries has hit nothing.
Just to
reassure everyone. You can see this up here. He's blocked it, and now he's trying to work one around it. Oh, what a dart that is. And then he's gone for the bull, and he's made a mess of it. I don't know why he's going for the bull on the last dart there. That makes no sense whatsoever. Stay on the 19s and try and leave it up.
You'll be pleased to know our yellow lines are very temporary.
It's all right, don't worry. Yeah, I've just seen that Bars is on it. It at least tells us if we've got our head on straight. Like, at least
our tech support is on with creating a slightly different amended overlay that means we can nicely lay out 3, which is
a double there and punished.
Yeah.
1 dart at double 14 for Michael Van Gerwen, and Luke Humphries takes out 89 in 2. And that was a hold of throw following a break. We've got the first one there, Mr. Simpson. That was actually a break of throw.
That means it's a real break of throw, because if you break and then hold that, that's a proper break of throw. But
and he's in again now. The break is after 10 legs.
Yeah, I tell you what, Michael Van Gerwen does not look happy up on that stage. He doesn't look comfortable or pleased in any way, and I appreciate
That's probably because he's 5-2 down.
He is against the darts as well, so it's the number of breaks of throw, and again he's not having a stinker, but he's averaging 97 at the minute MVG, and against the Luke Humphries that's averaging 108, over a 10-point swing in the averages. When you're against the throw as well, you are really, really struggling.
Yeah. He's
as in, does Michael
take shoulder in this throw at the moment?
Does Michael take 7-3 at the break and try and compose himself, or is 7-3 too big a gap?
Well, it was too big of a gap first time round. We thought for a second that Michael Smith was back in it when he came in and broke straight after it to get back to 7-4, but then he didn't actually break because he didn't hold. So yeah, I feel like I think Luke Humphries is too good to give up a 7-3 lead.
Start straight off. See, there's another.
To be honest, he might be 8-2 up the way this is going the last couple of legs.
Yeah, exactly. And MVG isn't doing enough to threaten either, really, is he? He's not. Not the races.
He's just not keeping him under pressure at any point, and that's the thing. It's a bit like Smith felt in that other game where you always felt like he was chasing and he was behind, even in the legs where he was on throw. He never got a comfortable hold, but Littler was doing. And I think that's starting to feel a little bit like that in this game.
It's a bit relentless.
I guess it does show, though. Yeah. If both Lukes make it to the final, then it was worth playing 16 nights of darts just to see the top 2 in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think both of them on debut, and I don't think you could argue with either of them making the final, to be fair. They've both been absolutely fantastic throughout.
Yeah, and if they both play like they've done in the semis, then, well, obviously Luke Humphries still has to win, but the way things are going, it's looking like that. But if
yeah,
they both
I think
doing this
it's starting to feel like we're giving it here, isn't it? Like leaves 50 there, Van Gogh, but I wouldn't back against this going.
No, yeah.
He's consistently allowing Humphries opportunities.
Last dart in hand, feel like you're getting a shot there and it gets taken away from you. So at very best, it'll be 7-3.
I think that's a real killer punch as well, isn't it? 6-2 down. Oh, he's got one dart in hand and he takes the double. It almost feels like you've lost two legs there, really, doesn't it? Because it would have been a break as well, wouldn't it? So
yeah, exactly. There's just a lot of shoulder in that MVG throw. It's like he's forcing everything. Even with the 180, he's in trouble here on his own throw because he's only then followed it up with 26.
I guess it does give us all hope that if you're going to hit a 180 back followed by 26, it's as good as MVG. But
that's it, yeah. And then he's back in the treble 20s again. I can't believe he stayed there on that last dart there because that second one was wobbly. But leaves a finish.
Do you know what's a gorgeous feeling? Do you ever forget you've put a bet on and then remember?
Yeah.
So I can't say who it's with because it's not our sponsors. Bet
no, just pretend it is, Mr. Simpson. Pretend
I got an offer this morning that was Littler and Humphries both to win their semi-finals and hit the most 180s in their semi-finals.
Oh, that's nice. I saw a different one, so you must be with a different bookie than I. You must be with a different bookie than I saw it with. That's a big dart from Michael Van Gerwen. 7-3. At least he's in with a bit of a chance. But yeah, I saw them both to hit 6 or more 180s. I didn't fancy it, so I left it alone. And
for both Lukes to win and both to have the most 180s in their semi-final, I got 6-1 enhanced from 4-1.
Evening, the Godfather in the chat. How are we, Gob?
Tell you what, it's looking good value at the minute, that.
It is looking very good value. How many is it ahead on the 180s? He must be a good couple ahead.
Humphries?
Yeah, I've lost count as we're going along.
Humphries is 4-2 on the 180s.
Oh yeah, you'd be very happy sat there with that bet now. What odds did you get?
6-1.
Oh, tasty.
Yeah, very nice, isn't it?
It is.
Very nice indeed. I tell you what, it's looking inevitable. As in, not the final. I think I genuinely think if we get both Lukes in the final, that's pretty unpredictable. Like you're gonna have to do a pretty good job to call that because
get a coin out, flip it.
Yeah, and it's which version of each of them that we get as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's fairly.
It's going to take a mammoth effort from MVG here to even get back in the game, let alone win. I think because
I don't like to say it's done at the break, but
just because Humphries looked so solid on his own throw, where MVG has looked shaky on his own and against the darts, as in I can't see Humphries messing up in 7 legs to give MVG enough chances to win it. Obviously, if he comes out and hits 120 average over the next 9 legs or however many legs it takes, then he's got a chance. But there's nothing to suggest that is about to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's interesting that we've had exactly the same score. Now, it was really weird. So we were talking earlier, Coward, that both Lukes were exactly the same odds to win tonight. Before, the odds for either Luke to win or either Michael to win were exactly the same. Yeah. We've then gone in at the break at exactly the same score at 7-3. To say that you can't separate the two Lukes at the moment is somewhat of an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah. Are we having 10-5 again then, are we?
I mean, let's be honest. 10-5 looks a perfectly rational pick to make from this point.
That's holes of throw from here, isn't it? Essentially.
I tell you what, I am going to call out some bullshit. Because
what, £17.90 for 2 pints in the arena?
you know what? I'm having. I'm not.
An absolute.
I'm having that.
disgrace that
I'm
is.
having that called out because the O2 tonight. There's will be lots of people that are wanting to enjoy a pint or two. 17 now. This is, I tell you what's interesting, Cam. Right?
Yep.
The sign that someone has sent us to of the pricing in the arena tonight, that says 2 pint cups of beer from. So that's your cheapest. Your cheapest one. You're not getting your premium or your Guinness or anything else. £17.90 for 2 pints of beer. That is an utter scandal. I know exactly how much you are paying per pint. You're paying less per pint than virtually every pub in the country because of volume to which you buy it. You are paying less than £1 a pint. Your cost.
And it's a plastic cup.
To charge £17.90 for the cheapest and worst ale that you've got, which I assume is Carling.
Be Carling or the equivalent Australian version.
It's the highest form of scumbaggery, and it should be eradicated immediately.
But I guarantee you, every single person in there is paying it.
Yeah, and but it still doesn't make it right.
No, it doesn't.
And can you imagine how many £17.90 worth of pints would be thrown in the air if
that
there's a nine
probably deserves more of a call out than the people selling it at that price. Is the idiots that pay that price and then throw it in the air.
Yes, correct. They should be thrown from windows.
Oh, here we are. We've lost our lines. How do I know if my head's on straight now?
All right, yeah. Best sit properly now then, because there's no line to hide it.
I don't know what's happened there. Maybe someone. Has someone just peeked in the back? I
think that may have been bars in the background.
I was going to say a member of the team may have just nipped in and did a little bit of tinkering for us there, which is absolutely bloody marvelous. That's much better. There we go. Where's a little message? There he is. There he is in the background. We can just make him out. Because I've got so many boxes along the bottom of the chat room open, I couldn't see him. So that's good news. We've got our bars. We've got our bars. Our yellow bars have been removed by Phil Bars, the famous Phil Bars.
For all things bars, speak to bars.
Yeah. That's mega. So now at least we can have a little. I'm just going to have a quick look and see if
yes, the famous Mr. Phil Bars.
Yes, amazing.
Here we go. We're about to go 8-3 up anyway. We've distracted, but
not the way I go. But
that wasn't so good. They were a good inch too high, both of them.
It's not the way I go. It's not the way I go for 60 tops, double tops.
Would you go treble 12, double 8?
No, I normally hit the 5, then the double 1, and then normally a dart in the 7 or something. That's generally, if I've got 60 left, that's generally the route I end up around the bottom. Oh dear. But 8-3 we have it, but again, that is the work. What?
$2 less than a pint at Gillette Stadium. Jesus.
Michael Van Gerwen. That is, treble 4s in your opening visit when you're up against it like this is just not what you need. He looks he doesn't look himself, does he? At all.
No, he's almost sort of, I don't want to say given up, but he's just, he hasn't been able to recover from a slow start. And even though he's finding a few trebles here and there's been too many lackluster visits, unlike MVG visits, really. And it's... Yeah,
and Humphries' average is coming down. We saw the first third of this match, he was averaging up around the 107 mark. He's just dropped under the 105, but you feel like he could drop by another 6-7 points, and he's A, so far ahead already, and B, under so little pressure from Van Gerwen that just looks to be on a freebie, doesn't he?
Oh, that was nice though. Hit the bullseye on the first start, and that is a lovely tops to get us to 8-4, and 10-5 is very much still on.
10-5, it's on. well done to you if you picked
a pair of 10-5s.
A pair of 10-5s after a pair of 7-3s at the break. Well done to you indeed. We are more enthusiastic. I tell you what, it will be it will definitely be a refreshing feeling for me, because quite often we start this little Thursday night chat about darts at about 11 o'clock at night and finish at about 20 past midnight. I reckon, like, we're motoring ahead here. We could be done for 10 o'clock.
Yeah, cup of tea and slippers on by 10 now, I think. Even if it goes the distance in the final, both players have got a nice rhythm, nice pace to them. It's going to be...
Well, that's it. You're not going to be hanging around. I think the main question for us will probably be what sort of a gap we're going to get between semi-final and final, isn't it? That's the only real... That'll be the real determiner of... This could be...
Oh, hello.
This is it.
8-5.
19 goes, and there we go.
Hey, we might get this. Might still. I'll tell you what, it might not be over this. I can confirm it's definitely still over. Humphries is definitely still winning this,
and that's another treble-less opening visit from Michael van Gerwen. He's took another break there, but a treble-less opening visit already on the back foot as Humphries finds 2 trebles, gets himself down to 3-6-4. Takes Michael 4 darts to finally get one, but he's still... I mean, to be honest, neither of them, whilst Humphries is playing well, I don't think either of them look particularly comfortable on this stage. Easy to say about Michael 8-5 behind, but Humphries doesn't look that comfortable. I'm not convinced. And I think he's done enough early in this game. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Here we go. Hang on a minute. I think he's now moaning about a little breeze on stage again now.
No, stop it. He's not, is he?
He is. You know what he's like. He's no, it's still not 9 o'clock yet, is it?
Our leg. Come on. He's lost a couple of legs on the bounce. So it doesn't mean that there's a breeze.
No, there is. I do like the fact that he genuinely does not believe that he can throw a bad dart at any point, and it has to be a breeze if it doesn't go where he throws it.
Yeah, there's
an elite level of confidence.
Oh, that is elite.
Oh yeah,
there's definitely the breeze was definitely back there, wasn't it?
Yeah, he must have. I'll tell you what, it must have been a bad dart, that, and the breeze has blown it into where it wanted it.
There is something spectacular. Like you are the amateur dart player that I am, and I think you two probably are as well. Like you know, when the idea that you can elect to hit either the bull or the 25. I think
not just hope for one.
Yeah, and therefore the idea that someone can play the 25 and hit that as part of their checkout. It's still, after all the years I've watched darts, so it mesmerizes me. So a 1-2-5 that 25, 60, 40. It's
No, it's rubbish, mate. It's absolute shitbag way of going. He should be going 25 bull if he's any good.
But then also what we've got as well now is, again, Humphries within one on throw. So
10-5 as well.
If
he's under a bit of pressure.
10-5, when we talked about it.
Oh, here we are. 180 to leave 32. No, there must have been a breeze again. Yes. No.
Tell you what.
72 for 10-5. He's missed the big 60.
Yeah,
you can't miss the big number. Even in the breeze, you can't miss the big number.
Right, he's left top. So 63, Michael van Gerwen, in order to avoid
25 double 19.
2 darts at double 12.
So he misses double 16, and I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's the curtain, I think.
And there we have it. 10-5 Luke again.
Wow. 10-5. Luke win. If at any point you said Luke wins 10-5, you were correct. Doubly. Right, as that goes in, gents, I'm just going to run for a quick visit to the smallest room in the house. I shall be back very, very shortly.
Right, well, he's left me and you in charge here, Colin. So we're just
and
gonna
I've never been
waffle
left in
about-
charge before, so this could be fun.
Yeah, we're going to waffle about some rubbish here for a minute. I'm going to go back to Daz. We wanted to know who would be England's opening bowlers in the World Cup. We're going to talk about cricket again. I'll be honest with you. I'd probably try and sneak an over a spin in early on with Hartley, maybe opening up. And then I would have Jofra Archer from the other end. And we'll move back onto darts swiftly because that's what you're all here for, not the cricket.
I've got to say, though, I do love an opening over of spin. I think introducing that to the one-day game has been genius. It just, I know everybody does it now, but it's a nice curveball. But yeah, back to that.
You can rattle one in early. They're expecting pace on the ball with the new ball and to be able to send it. I like it. And that's particularly would like it if I was playing against England and could get that at Phil Salt early, because Phil Salt against the spin early on is not so good.
No.
But if anyone from India or anywhere else is listening, do not tell anyone to do that, because I want to see Salty get us off to a flyer.
Yeah, pace.
and I assume yourself there, Colin, will be a big Phil Salt fan, with him hailing from Bodwyddan in the north of Wales.
Yes, yeah. He's sort of, I don't know, the last couple of years he seems to have found that sweet spot and is taking advantage of it. Really, it's just a shame that we haven't got a professional sort of national team in Wales. But obviously,
the England,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, the England and Wales cricket board, as it is, I don't think you're getting one anytime soon either, to be fair. Right.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Back to the darts. And who did you have winning the two semi-finals? I'm trying to find it in the chat, but I've not found it yet because there's too many messages gone in there.
I picked both winners.
Oh, very well done.
Yeah.
So we can actually ask a proper question with yours of what result have you got to come?
Humphries to win.
By what scoreline?
Oh, that did I? Oh, that's a good question. I was looking at it earlier, actually. I know in the semi-finals I went 10-7 Littler, 10-8 Humphries. Clearly got those right.
Yeah, I mean, not far off. I mean,
No.
you got both winners right. I had Michael Smith winning the first one, so I'm not anywhere near that one, I'll be honest. When did you put your scores in? I'm trying to find you, but I can't find you.
It was quite early on. I was on the board this
that's
weekend.
Why. There's been loads in there since then.
Maybe if I search Humphries wins, not many people might have picked Humphries. Oh, no,
well, it's at least bringing up everyone that's got Humphries' name in it if I do this. So maybe that will get us to where we want to be. Here you are. You've got 11-7 to Humphries in the final. So you're very much on for a big points haul here.
Much needed points haul because...
Yeah, I have not picked any up. We've also been doing this same thing in my darts team. I started this same predictions league off in there as well, and
because
I am bottom. I am bottom of it, which is not good. Well, actually, no, I'm second bottom of it, but one of the lads hasn't put a prediction in for 6 weeks, so it's not great.
It doesn't count.
I religiously picked Gerwin Price to win a night for about a month and a half straight, and that didn't go so well at that point.
Yeah, that was my mistake as well. I couldn't not pick my fellow Welshman, and when I didn't pick him...
At least you had a reason to. I'm just an idiot.
I mean, you're not going to hear an argument from me.
Well, there'll be very few arguments to that one from you lot or the chat room, I would imagine.
There's the Cam's neighbours are sat going, here.
I think they're all saying we wish we couldn't hear.
Yes, it's Well, so where do we got? We've got that little countdown. I reckon 17 minutes there.
Yeah, I was about to ask
To
that.
be fair, we had 20 minutes last time, and then it went to 2 very quickly.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know where that comes from. Now, I assume there's obviously got to be some time in there because Luke Humphries has just played. But
I think that's factored in for if we go all the way in both semi-finals.
Yeah,
that's when it would have been.
Do they say like a start time of 7, 8, 5+9, just as a generic start time? And then
I think they've got to say some. I think it being brutal. I think it's mainly a lot of the bookies have to have a time, at which that they, sort of state it'll be going on.
Yeah,
and then obviously I think it does just depend. Obviously, if you get 2 10-0s and you're running and you're rapidly ahead of time, then they might put a bit of extra filler in.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if MGM had the matchup yet, but they haven't actually put it on yet because they were pretty accurate first time round on the actual timings on it. But they haven't got it up yet. But if you have, once they do get it up there, it is your last opportunity for 2024 to take advantage, if you haven't already, of the double your odds on the darts in the Premier League with title sponsors BET MGM. Of course, always make sure you gamble responsibly. It is only a £5 limit on the double your odds, so you can't go too wild anyway. But if £5 too much for you, then don't do it. I tell you what, we've got a cracking little slate in the old Super Series tonight, haven't we? Starting at 10:05, so should be just after we get ended on here, and you can actually watch it straight away tonight because you don't have to sit there and listen to me and Mr. Simpson later on either. You can go straight over to the Super Series, and you've got Darius Labanauskas and Connor Heenan kicking you off before Bradley Brooks of Blackburn is in the second game. So I will be very much supporting my fellow man from up that way and Blackburn Rovers fan as he is.
It's a genuinely superb week this week.
Yeah.
Like we've seen Champions Week and we've seen really good lineups. I think it's absolutely superb this week. We've seen some brilliant darts this week so far. But some of the names in there, I could even just like from today, like absolutely superb. Really big, some big names in there as well.
The BET MGM now have their markets on for the final. And we might be right with the tracker we've got below because BET MGM are 1 second off that. So we may well have 15 minutes to fill until we get to the big one.
Back to the Super Series. What I've liked about this week, and I know it's the Champions Week and you've got the best players have played in it, but it's really been a week where it feels like everybody's taking points of everybody. It's been up and down for most players. They've had a good day, then a bad day, and then they've picked themselves up again. So it's gearing up for a nice final fight.
So on that, Group C, the matches that took place this afternoon, there's 6 players in Group C, and 5 of them are on 6 points.
Yeah.
Like in terms of not being able to call it, you've got 5 of the 6 players in Group C are on 6 points. So it's definitely very, very, very tight, and more exciting darts I think to come.
Also, congratulations, Dan, on your cheeky little win there. 6-1 came in.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, that came in. Well done, Mr. Simpson.
I had a quick look at that just to make sure it had been, and I'm like, yeah, I did, and I remember. So I've had a ridiculously busy day at work today, and I've got an equally busy day tomorrow, which is why the timing for this stream fits in a bit nicer for me than usual. But I was totally buzzing when I remembered, because I just spotted it, I think, when I was having a coffee this morning, first thing, flicking around to see what it was about, thinking, well, that's a good bit of value. I quite like the idea of that. 6-1's good. And then I thought no more about it at all until sort of halfway through that last game when it just popped into my head. great news indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tomorrow.
Wonderful work. Well, next time you're down in Manchester, the beers are on you, mate.
No, we've got another. I was just looking again. Monsters Day tomorrow, darts, because we've got continuing of Champions Week at the MODUS Super Series, but then we've also got Euro Tour starts tomorrow, and in the Safety Shoes World Championships.
I cannot wait for the Safety Shoes.
My favourite sponsors. But
Safety
what,
Shoes, Dutch Darts Masters, or whatever it is.
Some interesting matches in there as well. Like Richie Edhouse, who's played brilliant,
excellent on the Euro Tour so far.
Unbelievable on the Euro Tour. He's gonna be at the match player. Top 20 year to date performance so far. He's playing against a qualifier. So you make him favourite to come through that, and then you think, well, he's going to pick up some more money again, move on that little, Richie Edhouse is properly on the charge.
Really good start to the year. Daz, will they bull up on stage or backstage? I assume they will do it backstage, like always, just because it then gives the bookies time to then switch it up before they get on stage, and the odds if they want to tweak them slightly once we know who's won the bull.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Do you know what we're going to do? So here's now we mean business. You can tell it's finals night, right? Let me just do a little. This is probably going to go wrong because it involves me clicking around in the bloody background.
Oh, we had in a.
Prepare for it to go wrong, folks, right? Or either that or I'll accidentally end up illegally streaming Sky Sports and get arrested.
Yeah. The channel's been shut down because Mr. Simpson tried to do something. Right, you are actually going to have to do whatever was done before with the old, with the lines to fix it before. I am going to drop off shortly. So,
well, you let me know when that needs to happen because, but for the time being, it's all worked, and we managed to get Liam on board with us.
Beautiful.
With what is now a true international.
Hang on a minute though. We've when you've done that, we've lost our BET MGM from the bottom though.
Oh, right. Well, let me deal with that then. I'll get another logo. Liam, how are you, mate?
Hiya, lads. Do you know, I always, whenever I come on, right, I sit here and I don't know whether I'm in or I'm not in. It's like, are we live?
Why wasn't I told?
How are we doing, lads?
Not so bad, mate. How are you?
Good. I mean, I've never seen a more predictable Premier League lineup, just to be blunt there, as I come on straight away. I don't think, I mean, how many of us said that Luke Littler was going to play Humphries in the final when we looked at that final four days?
Not me, because I'm an idiot. I picked Michael Smith.
Some of us tried even just to promote conversation within the chat room to sort of predict other results. But I think
we're providing a service, me and Mr. Simpson.
Yeah, I think all the bookies, the polls that we saw on Twitter and X, Facebook, everyone, it very much seemed that there were few people not picking this outcome. I think we've made light a little bit as to the similarities that the two Lukes started the evening with exactly the same odds to win their semi-finals. They both went into the break at 6-3. They both won their games 10-5. Like we're seeing virtually, we've seen very, very similar performances, even just in terms of statistics. We one more 180 from Humphries, a point or so difference in the averages. Very, very close game to call going into this last one.
Yeah.
And look, they have been the two standout players in the league phase format. So, I mean, it's only fitting that the two of them contest the final this evening as well.
Yeah, it's what you want to see, isn't it? We all want to see the best two players in the final and contesting it. And let's be honest, that's what we've got.
I think the only question was, would either Luke fall to the pressure? As in, there'd be nothing to suggest across this Premier League that either would. But obviously, it's finals night. It's the O2. We know how much MVG loves lifting this title. But to be fair to both Lukes, they just blew both Michaels off the park, and they're never really in the race at all. So it's everything's pointing towards a cracker. Let's just hope that.
I think
that's what we get now.
It might go all the way. And on that note, I'm going to ask you all who's going to win first, and then I'm going to jump off.
I'll jump in first only because I'm not going to change my predictions that I've done probably on this stream 3 times in the last week. I've said relentlessly that I think Luke Humphries wins this on his journey to become a Triple Crown PDC champion. And I'm going to stick with it. So I think it's a Luke Humphries victory.
Yeah, I was nearly going to go back my prediction there from yesterday, was it? But no, I'm going to go with Humphries as well. I just think in major finals recently, he's just been ridiculous, really. So I reckon I'm going to stick with my prediction from yesterday. I'm going to go 11-8 Luke Humphries.
I think I'm going to change my prediction.
Oh,
as in, I've been confident since early this week when I put it up that Humphries was going to win, but I don't know. I actually think I think Littler. The longer it goes on, I think more chance of Littler wins it. But I also desperately need the points, so I'm basically sitting on the fence here. It's a win-win for me.
No,
but no, I actually
you're not allowed to sit on the fence.
Littler wins 11-9.
Okay. And before I go, I'm going to sit on the fence. Luke wins. Bye all.
Oh, dear me. Right, let me just set us back up into a bit of a better setup. Let's get those bars out of the way. There we go. So we've got a bit more room. So we are now guaranteed as well, interesting enough. We are not only are we guaranteed a new name on the trophy, you know, we're guaranteed a first-time winner, but we are also at this stage guaranteed a debutant winner as well. Not just a first-time winner guaranteed, but also guaranteed someone will win on their debut. Is that just a sign, do we reckon, chaps, of how far ahead of the rest of the world these two actually are?
I actually can't believe, as you said that, Dan, that Luke Humphries, this is his first full Premier League campaign, because he just seems like he's been so far ahead of everyone for so long. But yeah, look, I mean, Luke has just been phenomenal since he burst onto the scene. But look, I mean, I can't believe, I know Humphries he was in the contenders there a couple of years ago, but it's not in the.
Yeah, I don't. Some people count that as a debut, but I'm not having it. I'm not buying that.
No, we had everyone in those contenders. It was they were nearly rolling Wayne Mardell on stage there for a contender. But no, that's just ridiculous when you say the 2 debut seasons for the 2 of them.
Yeah, and I think I can't make my mind up. So sometimes I think that, like, I think Luke Humphries might be sort of that he might have missed out or suffered a little bit in the fact that, you know, in the year where he has won that world title and he's the world number 1 and he's got to the Premier League final, you know, a lot of the conversation in darts hasn't been about him. And that's just that's just because something else has happened that year as well that's quite special. And sometimes I think, is it a bad thing? Is he, would he be frustrated by it? Is it? And then other times I think, does it make, like, this was his Premier League debut, but then no one's really talked about it. People haven't made a big deal of it because the press and the commentators and everybody else is too busy on with, like, that guy's 17 and look how well he's playing. And sometimes I think, has he got a good deal out of it or a bad deal out of it? And I suppose when he's making finals like this, you can only really say that he's benefited from it, can't you?
Oh,
yeah, sorry, Cameron, go on.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, if Humphries wins tonight, he has beaten Littler in the Premier League final and the World Championship final where Littler made his debut. Nobody's talking about him, but he's beaten the kid they are talking about. I think he benefits as well. The world of darts obviously benefits because darts is being spoken about in countries and in places that's never been spoken about before. But I think it can only be a good thing for Humphries and for all the players on the tour, really, because there's going to be financial interest, I'd imagine, from the 4 corners of the world.
Yeah, and just on, I mean, we kind of saw the lull that Michael Smith had when he won the Worlds the year after, you know, with the media pressure and there's just added pressure of being a world champ. But Humphries just looks like he's just taken it in his stride. And to be honest, in my opinion, these 2 have been the best 2 players in the world since since that World Championship and during that World Championship as well. I know Gary Anderson has done well on the tour, and a couple of others averages are up there, but these two for me are quite some distance ahead of the chasing pack at the moment. And it would not surprise me if this isn't the last time we see these two in a major final or in multiple major finals before the end of the year.
No, the challenge and the difficulty is going to be in some of these events is going to be the fact that Luke Littler still isn't seed. Like this is potentially a first round match at the match play. Now, if you now again, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense that you could have a repeat of the World Championship final and the Premier League final in the opening round at the Winter Gardens. That doesn't compute, really, does it?
No, it should be legal, really. But obviously, that won't be the case for long, because it's only a matter of I think by this time next year, they'll be close to the top two in the world, if not the top two, depending on how much money Luke Littler needs to climb up to number two. But I genuinely think these two could dominate darts for the next 20 years, and unless something happens that they take the foot off the pedal, but whilst they're fighting against each other, why would you not want to go down in history as being part of the greatest rivalry to ever grace the hockey?
It's very exciting. And there's others that, you can, not just darts, but we look at some sports, lots of sports, and you look at an individual that's gone and won, relentless things over a period of a few years. And sometimes you can look at individual sports, whether that be tennis, golf, and you have to look back and think, well, was it that they were one of the all-time greats, or was it that they were relatively lucky that they came along in a time where there wasn't a lot of other people, there was no one to really push them. We've seen it in tennis where it comes along and you've got 3 or 4. Whereas if those 3 or 4 players that have come along at any other individual time in history, they would have just won everything relentlessly. But because the stars have aligned and you've got 3 or 4 of these, you end up with these relentless, like Nadal and Federer and Murray and Djokovic sort of semi-finals. And that, I think, is where we're heading with these two. Is neither one of them is going to be allowed that pass to just be able to be like Michael van Gerwen had. When Michael van Gerwen was the best in the world, nobody could go with him. And if he turned up and played his A game, he'd beat everybody. There was no one whose A game could compete with him. Whereas these two can. There's real competition between them.
I would just love to see in the next couple of months the likes of Michael van Gerwen, Michael Smith, Rob Cross, really, and Gary Anderson just getting up to that level and just being a shootout that we could get to a quarter final stage of a major championship and we literally cannot call who is going to win, because any one of them on any given day could just beat each other. I mean, that's ideally, that would just be unbelievable if we could get to that level. And they all have it in their locker. I mean, we can see Luke Littler and Luke Humphries are the two standout players at the moment, but that's not to say in 6 months' time that Michael van Gerwen won't be back at the top of the tree. I mean, there was an argument there at one stage last year that Michael van Gerwen was back to being the best player in the world. So look, we all know the capabilities of Gary Anderson, Rob Cross, Michael Smith. Probably hasn't hit the same level since he won the World Championship, but I would just love to see in a big major championship that these lads, final 8 players in a tournament, and we just might as well toss a coin to see who wins it, because that just would be a dream scenario for us darts fans.
And the thing is, those boys you mentioned there, they'll be hurting at the moment because all the attention, all the focus, all the talk is on Luke Littler and world number 1, Luke Humphries. As in, even though Van Gerwen and Smith made the semi-finals tonight, there was nobody much giving them any hope, and that must hurt, because obviously between them they're major winners. They want to win. They know how to win. So I'd imagine they'll be back on that practice board, making sure that next time they face either Luke in a semi-final, that they won't just roll over, and they'll make their opponent work to get that win.
I think so. I'm just having a look there on the when we look at just in terms of how they're both running into this year. The year to date, these two are second and third on ranking money, and that's only because Dimitri van den Berg is carrying that UK Open win. But even with that UK Open win, I don't think you can make a case that Dimitri van den Berg's anywhere near to these two in terms of the form that they've shown this year. He is just there by way of that one big lump from that weekend down in Minehead. A lovely weekend though it was.
I wouldn't put Dimitri van den Berg. I completely forgot that Dimitri van den Berg won the UK Open, to be honest. I know you were there that weekend, Dan, but that
I think he won it at 7. I've forgotten by 10:30, I think.
It's like I try and remember some of these Premier League nights, and I'm like, what year am I in now? Because what was that on that night? I mean, I don't think I've like I said a couple of weeks ago, I don't think I've predicted a nightly winner of one of these since last year. So hopefully now my prediction on the final.
Yeah, well, but it does. I do keep having to jog my memory a little bit when I feel like because he's been not great for the rest of the sort of the 6 months around it, that it feels a little bit like Dimitri van den Berg is skewing the figures a little bit by sitting in that point with all that money on recently picked up, and obviously he's going to carry that money for some time as well. So that money is going to sit on his ranking for a little while, which could come into play when we start talking about Premier League picks next year. We might start to look at the fact that, especially if we think that a couple of players, if the big ranking money is going to be picked up by a couple of specific players, if someone who's carrying 100 grand, in their 12 monthly fee could almost make a claim. Boyce's called into the chat. He's got Luke Humphries 11-9 over Luke Littler. Exactly what he predicted on Monday, and he did. He's not fudging that. That's exactly what he called on the live lounge on Monday night. He's sticking with it. Lee Boyce couldn't hit the nail right on the head there.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we have to say is surely going to be close to the 2 semi-finals anyway, because I don't think there'll be 5 legs between them.
No, I think
if we're 7-3 up at the break, I will be incredibly shocked. We are, don't forget, folks, playing on a very slightly different format at this point. Only in that we're no longer playing to 10. We are now playing to 11. Now, I think that we will still have a break after 10 legs. I'm pretty sure that we still have the break in the same spot. Premier League finalist Luke Humphries, if you will.
Do you are you watching on Sky there, Dan?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm actually on my Sky Go, so I know it's always usually a little bit behind. Whereabouts are you on yours?
So on my TV. So what I tend to find is the screen I've got with the stats on. That is almost a second and a half behind the darts going in. That's virtually there. Luke Littler's just unscrewed the lid off his bottle top on my Sky, because I'm the same. I'm having to go through because I'm set up with screens everywhere. I'm not through my Sky Q box, if you like. Yeah. I'm having to go through Sky Co as well because I'm set up in another room.
I'm not too far behind you.
Although I think I am. We might be watching something very similar because we might be watching the same adverts, because I'm pretty sure that the system I'm running this through is I've got Irish Sky Sports, I think. I've noticed that I keep getting adverts for products that aren't available. Every time I'm watching the football, I'm getting adverts for Dunn's stores. I can't get to a Dunn's stores. We did one when I was a kid. The town I lived in when I was a kid, there used to be Dunn's stores in England, and then they not, because it was part of Marks and Spencer's, and it got the brand got split, and Marks and Spencer's retained the UK stores, and the ones that were in Ireland remained Dunn's. And it blew my mind because I saw an advert for it. I was like, that's the shop I used to go to when I was a kid. Still going over there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, still going strong, yeah.
Yeah, good old Dunnes Stores, St Bernard.
That's where all my money goes on food every week.
Is that your sort of regular supermarket? Is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh, good stuff. Our Dunnes is a Tesco now.
Oh.
What was Dunnes? But we're very close, folks. We got Luke. Luke Humphries interacting with the crowd here. He's doing a bit of building them up a little bit. I can't because I'm on mute. I can't really get much of a sense as to what the atmosphere is like. If anyone's in the chat room and is watching on full volume, I can't imagine you are because you'll be listening to us instead. But just give us some sort of indication just as to what the atmosphere is like.
I just unmuted there I just mute myself there for a second just to listen to it and it sounds quite good.
Good. And well, as I said, they both look fat. Luke, I didn't think looked massively comfortable in the game against Michael Van Gerwen on stage. I just didn't think he looked 100% happy and comfortable. He certainly come on looking much more so there. Interacting with the crowd is good to see. If the atmosphere is good as well, I'm just going to hit. I'm sort of refreshing our darts scores a couple of times just to make sure that it wasn't when it does go live, we pick it up nice and fast. And we're off. Luke Littler opens with a treble. First dart in the treble 20 got my hopes straight up there. I thought, here we go. This could be special. What that does tell us, though, chaps, is Luke Littler won the bull. How important is that?
Could be crucial in this game, as in they're both capable of hitting 12 or under darts on their own throw, which makes it very difficult to break.
Treble-less visit, though, from Littler, his second visit. Especially with Humphries following up with two big treble 20s is risky. It's a bit threatening early. Worth pointing out, and credit to Jarlath Eaton just for giving us the nudge on this one. Charlie Costerfield. That's good to see him being given a big final, isn't it, as the referee? Relatively new to the being that regular PDC TV referee. Can only be a positive thing, I think, isn't it? And get a big game like that.
Yeah, I really rate him. I think I've seen him. He's kind of earned he's earned his stripes now, and it's great to see him stepping up to the big stage. And I actually really think he's really good. So it's great to see him on there.
And a top fella as well. I was talking to him at the Players' Championship. Happened to be staying in a chalet next to him, and he was a very welcoming and very happy to chat to fans and stuff. So yeah, good to see him on there.
So Luke Littler, he misses double 10, but then gets it third dart. Luke Humphries missed two darts to break there, and to break in the opening leg as well. That could have been really, really important, but just couldn't find that double. Luke Humphries. Littler missed a few doubles and messed around a little bit there, but he's got away with one early doors. You think he won't get many chances to get away with them, will he?
No, and a couple of bounce outs in that leg for both players. But I mean, especially in this format, I mean, it's very easy to get to pull away, especially in leg format when some of these players start hitting the doubles and taking off, that they can get so much momentum built up. So just to get that opening leg on the board, just to settle them down in the final will help Luke Littler.
First 180 of the match comes for Luke Humphries on throw, so it's not a sort of huge key turning point.
But after an opening visit of 45 to be on 176 after 9, he's recovered well there. Fair play to him.
It's not shabby.
He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
Team. I wonder if the players had more nerves before the semi-final than the final, because obviously they were playing two Michaels who'd been here before, whereas this is obviously new territory to both of them. Do they sort of both see this as a chance where there's more pressure on them to get to the final. I don't know.
I do think the two of these bring out the best in each other as well. We've seen them on that World Championship stage as well. The pace of the pair suit each other down to the ground. Now, I know the two Michaels are not exactly slow players either, but just, they kind of complement each other when they're up there. Scoreboard went missing a little bit there in that second leg.
Did as Littler leaves 38 with Humphries needing double tops, 3 dart. Oh. Is it going? He's missed. Oh, what's he done? Oh, I can't even understand. I'll have to wait for that on the screen because I cannot work out what's happened there.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, Humphries bossed the tops. We went inside double 15 for double 10.
Oh, is that what happened? I couldn't work out what on earth had happened.
And Luke pinned the double 5. So Luke is 2-0 up. Luke Littler is 2-0 up. There's a bit of a mare with all these scoreboards at the moment. I don't know what's working. I don't even know if they know what they
Everything's broken again.
One of the Luke's is going to just hit a random double and they're going to say, game shot.
Next time, what we're going to do, we're just going to find someone in the venue to text after each leg. It'd be like the BBC does for text commentary, who just each leg we get a text message saying, Littler, hold, double top, and then we can just regurgitate that to the, because I don't know what they, God's name.
Humphries has just fired in a 180. There's no scoreboard on our screen. There's no scoreboard on Sky. They're just playing. It's
lucky dip at the moment. Just throw what you want. Hit what you want.
Flash Score came to the rescue earlier. Let's see how those lads are doing. If you're going to pick a night for it all to go balls up, I mean, why not be
the showcase?
Why not be the Premier League final? I find that, let's have a look. What have we got?
I thought calculators were invented to avoid miscounts like that on apps.
Can someone just give Charlie Costerfield just to go live on his phone? Can we do that? Like, you can just.
But I'm not even sure if I had a calculator next to me here that I'd be able to keep up with these two.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got a scoreboard back on my screen. So Sky have got a scoreboard back. Again, I do think I've got a bit of a lag on what's going on elsewhere.
Mine has appeared as well.
I've got 2-1. Well, I think we know Luke Littler's winning 2-1. He's going for 142 with Humphries back on 240. So it's a potential break of throw. He's set up 80, so he's going to get 3 darts to get rid of 80, Luke Littler, for what is an early break of throw. Oh, Humphries can only leave 126. So 80 for Littler. Not under masses of pressure on the 80 either. But it is a checkout that you do see him deal with fairly well, fairly regularly. What's happened there? Why is he not?
What has gone on there? Has he bust?
He must have bust. He has. He's bust 80. He's gone into double 15 instead of the double 10.
That's the second. Humphries done that in leg 1, leg 2?
Leg 2, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, he has. He's bust 80, and then he's missed.
It's a bit of a nervy sound.
Dear me. He's then missed 2 darts at double 10. So he's bust 80, then he's missed 2 darts at double 10. It's not what you normally see from Luke Littler, but I mean, that was only a hold from Luke Humphries, but that will feel like Littler's been broken there through his shoe. He's missed 5 darts to break that.
For a man who's normally just doesn't miss on double 10, he's missed quite a few doubles at the old reliable there early on.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do we think he lets that affect him? Like missing the favourite early? I mean, it's not affecting him in this leg. He's down to 84. But he's such a big chance to break that.
I don't think this early on it'll affect him, but if he just notices, he just starts creeping in over the next couple of legs. I mean, surely when you're so good on one double and that starts leaving you down, it might start to cause him a little bit of worry. But look, he's ahead of the moment, so
he takes that out and he goes. So Luke Littler moves to 3.
Thing is with Luke Littler, he could just as easy leave himself 60 and go 3 double tens just to prove that it's not his bogey double, just to prove that he can do it. So I don't think he plays with such a carefree attitude. I don't think anything affects him really.
No, and he's certainly he's made some inroads here. We found him 100 points ahead here against the darts. He's down to 161. Sorry, 261. Humphries on 208, but a couple of trebles here.
And he's not missing by an awful lot in these doubles. I mean, he's not hitting them first time off, but I mean, literally you're talking a millimetre away on some of the efforts.
What we are seeing though, chaps, and this is almost alien for both of these at the minute, is we're seeing averages of 89 and 94, which is not what we generally see with either of these two players. It's certainly not what we generally see when they play each other. You know, we do normally see these two bringing the very best out of each other. And in terms of standard, I don't know whether it's that it's a bit edgy or there's a bit of nerves in play, but neither of these two are within a country mile of what we would expect from them levels-wise at the minute.
No, just looking at the body language of the pairs, and the facial expression, they look a little bit unsettled up there. Look at Humphries there; he just doesn't look quite look right at the moment.
And Humphries' average dropped there, so we're 89 plays 92 in averages, which whilst in our house that will be record breaking. But for these lads, that is some way off what they would have been hoping to.
I just wonder, both players just waiting for the other one to kick in, and I just think there's a little bit of waiting for that kick to come, and it might take one to kick the other one into gear then, and then we have a match on our hand. But
I feel like we've seen quite a lot of bounce outs tonight. Luke Littler's just had a bounce out on a very, very clear bounce out on a 180 that would have been a 180. But I feel like we've seen. Oh, there's another 180.
There was 2 in the one leg there, a couple of legs.
But throughout the whole evening today, I feel like we've seen a lot of. Michael Smith had quite a few. Seemed to have at least 2 or 3 over the course of his match that stick in my mind. And if I'm honest, I've been watching the digital as much as I have the screen, so I've probably missed some of them as well. There just seems to be quite a few.
Shouldn't be much pressure on this from Luke Littler.
But he's got 6 darts at his favourite double, and he doesn't need them all. So we see Humphries' average slip even further down. 90 plays 90 now in terms of averages. Humphries on throw, 4-2 behind. The ball is proving the difference maker at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, it was always going to be tight. There was always going to be not much in it, but I just think we were all expecting for it to be of a bit of a higher standard, really, and it's just not living up to expectation. Hopefully, one of them just sort of takes the ball by the horns and drags the other one up, because we all want the Premier League final to be the showpiece of the campaign, and it's not quite there yet. But there is obviously plenty of time. We're only a third of the way through the legs. Excuse me, I need to cough.
I think one of the important things to remember as well, just in terms of timing, that next gear kicking in, is we are only a few legs away from a break, and that now might not be the best time to hit to really start to kick in, because you don't want to really hit your level for 2 legs, then go off and come back and not find it again. It might be that the break is exactly what this game needs for them both to get off and come back with their big boy trousers on.
There's a bit of a Humphries takes it out. I was just going to say
There he goes.
There was a big chance there if Littler got a go at double 10, but it doesn't matter anyway because Humphries takes it out.
That's why he's number one.
That's which I mean, and he's just so good, but it's small margins between these two. I mean, a break in that time of the match and a hold after that, and all of a sudden you could find yourself 3 legs ahead. I mean, it's going to be so tight in this.
There was a look of resignation there on Luke Littler's face when that 116 went in from Humphries. He just sort of rolled his eyes and a little smile. But I think, again, I don't think that's worrying because that was Humphries' at the minute, the way that I'm seeing this game, and I know it's really tight, and I know there's very little in terms of the stats, but we've seen Luke Littler miss multiple darts to break. That won't continue forever. You know, he will hit some of those darts. He won't continue to miss. Humphries is having to take out ton plus checkouts to hold throw. He's doing it, but can he do it over and over again? Oh no, you got to think every if he does that again, law of averages said Luke Littler is going to get back for those darts at double 10. He won't be able to keep taking out ton plus checkouts.
And see. I mean, we always talk about the throw in the match. I mean, Littler is 5-4 up now. He only needs to have a good leg then, and all of a sudden he has the break throw. I mean, it's like we said, it's so tight. I mean, that throw and winning the darts at the beginning of the match could be so crucial in this, and it could only take one break of throw to win the match, or might even take a hole of throw. Littler just has to keep staying in front and winning the legs that he throws first in.
Thing is, Little Blake breaks here, holds off the break. He's 7-4 up. He's only 4 away, and then it becomes a mountain of a task for Humphries. So I know in a best of 21, most legs are crucial, but this one does feel like Humphries definitely needs to win it more than Littler.
I think that one of the things that we're guaranteed himself, knowing as Humphries, I mean, he's all the way back on 250 with Humphries on 25 at the minute. So, you know, you've got to pretty much say that this is Humphries' leg. But by getting to that 5 first, Littler's guaranteed that he doesn't go into the break behind. He goes in level on throw. So Humphries there levels up. So he takes a 25 ball. Evening, Rob. We've got the chat room's been really busy tonight. Anyone prepared to change their pick? And I'm shouting to the chat room there at this point. It's 5-all. We're almost halfway through a race to 11. It's virtually level on every metric you want to measure it on, as these two have been for the whole of tonight. Anyone in the chat room willing to commit one side or the other? I think. Looking at them both come off the stage, I think Littler's in a better place than Humphries is mentally, and he definitely is in the game because it's so close that. And as I say, in terms of the way that some of those legs have gone, Humphries had to take some big stuff out to hold, and Littler was given opportunities to break as well.
I think the big thing as well is Luke Littler, apart from the third leg where Humphries broke, Luke Littler has looked a lot more comfortable on his own darts. Humphries has been under much more pressure than Littler. Obviously, the break can change everything and Humphries comes out and hits 112 average. But at the moment, I think Littler will be the happier of the two Lukes because he's had chances. He hasn't taken them, but on his own throw, he's looked quite comfortable and hasn't been put under too much pressure to defend it.
It is objectively absurd that Luke Littler, and I know he was in the final of the World Championships, but it does remain bonkers that he's 6 legs away from winning the Premier League, isn't it? Like, that's mad, isn't it? Or are we used to it now? Is it just the reality of the world we live in?
I mean, this campaign has just been so good. I mean, it's been so good because Luke Littler's been in it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Humphries has been brilliant as well, but it's still kind of it still brings a freshness every week that and I think maybe with a Premier League when we would all just go, this man is here to stay now. This is not just a flash in the pan, or yes, he is ready. He is what he has shown for the last 16 weeks, that he is a serious player in the world of darts as it is now.
Luke Littler is 6 legs away from pocketing £275,000. Not bad for 16 weeks' work as a 17-year-old.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, but he's 6 legs away from £275,000, which is a monstrous amount of money. The difficulty is, the problem he's got is it's not ranking money, and it doesn't put him into that, where we know he is. We know he's a top 4 player. He obviously is a top 4 player. You make the final of the World Championships in the Premier League within 6 months. You're winning Euro Tours, and your year to date is up there with everyone that's won a major. You are in the top 4 players in the world, but the ranking system doesn't reflect that and won't for a little while yet.
But I think that's more of a concern for those players already sitting in the top 4, top 8, because they know in an early round they could face Luke Littler, and he doesn't have to. Luke at this point doesn't even have to bank any more money to take over those people. He's banked loads. He just needs to wait for their money to fall off. That's the thing. Luke's not defending any money at any point. Every single time he earns, it's money. It's ranking money every single time. Everybody else in that top 16, top 32, everyone else in the top 32 is defending. Everyone's defending money, apart from Luke Littler. Needs to be a good fantasy darts game. I agree, Rob, but be the change you want to see in the world, mate. Let's get it done. Let's get it developed.
I'm surprised I went 11-8 to. I'm surprised every week by my predictions because none of them ever. But I'm surprised I went 11-8.
Was that a 9?
Claxon's on, I think.
Is Littler just hit a 9?
He's hit a 9.
He has hit a 9. He's done it.
£79.90 PS.
Double 12. He's hit a 9 darter in the Premier League final.
They've both been fucking bang average until now, and all of a sudden they go back to play for 5 minutes.
It's been a bit crap, hasn't it? The level's not been there.
Forget the first 10 legs.
Good job you noticed that, Dan, because I was sitting here, I wasn't even paying attention, and then all of a sudden there's table. Oh my God.
Oh my word! Now, but that was still only a hold of throw. So it hasn't really. I don't know, but that hasn't really changed the direction and the dynamics of this game, other than the fact that it's a monster visit. And Littler is now making big inroads on the Humphries throw. He's 120 points ahead. Littler down to 226. Humphries gets down to 202, but Littler you would expect to get to a finish here and get to a finish first.
A 2 treble visit there doesn't put an awful lot of pressure on there for Littler. But like we said earlier on, it only needs one of these to kick in for the other one to get going as well. And hopefully now that break is just what we needed. We should have sent him off for a break after 2 legs.
Honestly, somebody should have just called it halfway through that and went, lads, come on. Get out the back, have a pee, have a cig, get back out there.
Go out to the car park, come back in.
Get back out there. He's 25. Littler comes back for 25. We know what he'll do with this. He'll go 5 double 10. But this is for a break, and he takes it. So we do finally
huge.
We finally have a break of throw. And was that 9 data the catalyst? That wasn't a particularly monstrous leg from Littler, but what it was a break of throw, the first one in the match. That 9 data has just catapulted him.
But like they say, a hold is only a hold when you can hold your own throw in the following visit once you get that break. So this is a huge leg because, I mean, Luke Littler can...
you get one hand of the trophy if he wins this leg, I think.
Because then he's 3 legs ahead, and in he'd be literally 3 legs from the title then. So this is big.
Yeah, Luke down 2-2-2. You expect him to reach a finish from here. It might not be a particularly simple one, but you do expect him to get 3 darts. Oh my goodness.
What a time.
Commentator's curse there.
Humphries wasn't bad either.
Yeah, Humphries got 140, 140, 135 and doesn't get a shot.
My goodness, that was a big leg.
Luke Littler now up to 7 180s to the 3 of Luke Humphries. We are starting to see now that bigger gap in.
Oh, they're kicking in now.
We're seeing the bigger gap in the averages now, aren't we? Like Humphries is open with a max, but he's on throw here, so.
I think it needs the 180s in the next leg to break back. That's his only hope, I think, because
this is it. He's got to. Luke's doing, and there isn't a lot of amazing work from Luke Humphries at the minute, but he's doing his best work on his own throw, which is all very well, and it keeps you there or thereabouts. But he's already down a break, and he was down a break like throwing against the bull as well. It looks a long way back here for Humphries if he can't quickly make inroads on the Luke Littler throw.
Yes,
well, effectively, he needs to break Littler twice in 4 legs to win from here.
Yeah, and there's not many people that do that on a regular basis, is there?
Humphries is going to have to be. He's going to have to be throwing 8s and 12s to try and win this now. He's going to really have to up his game, and at the average and the level he's at the moment, Luke Littler just has to keep going the way he is, and he will be the champ.
Takes the hold of throw Humphries, but again, he had to do it. Like he keeps being in a situation where he's got a combination finish, and because Luke Littler just finding yet another 180.
Oh, could he do it again?
God, imagine you can't do 2 and then win the Premier League, can you, Luke?
Somebody can this Luke Littler.
Can you do it? Right. There's the first 180. It's 3 perfect darts.
Oh. Boo.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
Yeah.
Boo. Clearly someone's hit a 9 data because I've just looked at my phone. I've not been able to pay much attention to it. And I've got more notifications than I've seen on my phone for ages. Which generally means either there's been some sort of political assassination somewhere in the world, or there's been a 9 data.
All those messages contain capital letters as well. You know that's something important.
Absolutely. And then he is now 2 away, Luke Littler. Another hold of throw. 94 goes.
Again, Luke Humphries against that when 140, 140, 140 and doesn't get a look in, as in that's how well Littler is playing. It's virtually impossible for Humphries to make inroads against the darts.
Yeah, so Littler currently averaging 104. It's very. What's more impressive, I think, with that 104 is we haven't seen a lot, and World Championships aside, we haven't seen a lot in sort of a match play format of Luke playing this length. We see him play loads of Euro Tour first to 6, loads of Pro Tour first to 6, and loads of Premier League first to 6. I think it's a really positive sign that we're 15 legs in now and he's still holding that 104 average.
But like what I would love to see his average since the break, because I mean he's averaging over 104 now, and even Humphries is over 100 now. Both of them have really upped their levels since the break, because I mean we all commented on, said it was below par, but I mean Humphries' average since the break and his performance has just been near on perfect.
If anyone in the
I
chat
think it
room,
was 96 and 94. I think 96, 94, 94, 92.
That 1-3-4 was absolutely delightful, by the way. Two double 20s for Humphries to get that back to 9-7. He's in again. No, he's not. He's out. He was in again. Now he's out again.
But this is the chance, though. You've got to see this as a chance for Humphries now to get one of the breaks back.
140 again. Good scoring from Humphries.
It's not over yet, is it?
If Littler doesn't leave, doesn't leave us finish.
Yeah, if Littler doesn't leave us finish. Oh, wow. 98. We've seen this sort of thing go all the way through the Premier League. Oh, he leaves tops. 145. Big. Tough finish.
This could have to go. This might have to go.
Oh, he's missed. He's gone inside double top, hasn't he?
Oh. Oh, ruthless.
10-7, and he's going to have multiple chances to throw.
I can't wait
to be the Premier League champion. Oh, that was a mile away, Luke Humphries. That attempt he had at double there was a mile off.
I'm just waiting for it to come up on mine.
Dead centre. Luke Humphries looks like a man who knows he's not winning this match.
Yeah. And
he gave a look to Luke Littler as he walked back there that it genuinely looked as if a man that knew he wasn't winning. But he's throwing all right in this leg. It's the fact that he's got to break.
Yeah, and I just look at Humphries' facial expressions in this match. He just hasn't looked comfortable all match. There's been something there. I don't know if it's because he's chasing or it just wasn't clicking for him early doors. But there's something not quite right there with Humphries.
$178 won't go. Even Luke Littler can't finish 178. I mean, if there was a man who could, he leaves tops though. So 81 Luke Humphries, or you're giving Luke Littler 3, and he can't do it. Luke Littler 3-match starts at tops. Will we see it finish on the double 10? Will he go straight into tops? Will he win? Will he win the world?
Oh,
he's done it. He has done it. Oh, congratulations, Luke Littler. 2024. Luke Humphries was completely resigned there on those. That he knew that as soon as he knew he wasn't finishing it, he walked back to his table, knowing that he had given Luke Littler 3 darts at double top. First one, goodness me, that couldn't have been square in the centre. It was bang in the middle of the double 20. It was bang in the centre of the bed. And Luke Littler, at 17 years old, ladies and gentlemen, is a Premier League champion. He picks up £275,000, and it is very difficult to say that young man isn't the most exciting thing in darts at the moment, isn't it?
I mean, it's been almost freakish what's happened the last couple of months. But fair play to Littler; he's deserved one of these with the way he's played the last couple of months. Humphries has tended to sweep up in most of these majors that we've seen him in. We said before the show they are the best 2 players in the world at the moment, and it's on any given day that which one of these is going to win. And I'm delighted for Luke Littler as well, because there were question marks maybe before the start. Was he too young? Was he ready? But I mean, he has certainly answered every single one of those questions. And I mean, the performance from the break thereon, I mean, it was 5-all of the break. Luke Littler went a 1-6-2 in that second session there, and he just literally steamrolled to victory. And fair play to Littler at 17 years of age.
It was that 10 minutes or 5-10 minute spell after the break, wasn't it? When he hit the 9, broke, held, all of a sudden 5-5 went 8-5, and from there on in, it was just a case of holding throw and waiting for Humphries to miss on his darts, which is ultimately what happened. But what you were saying there about people questioning him, I wasn't sure myself how Luke Littler would cope with the 17 weeks if he made finals night. His £275,000 check shows that I understand nothing about darts or the ability of 17-year-olds to last a campaign. But no, hats off. These two topped the table for a reason, and whilst the first half of the final wasn't what we'd expect of their standard, they certainly heated up after the break.
Sorry, Dan, go on.
Well, I was just going to say that again. It's that relentlessness there. Just if you round up like you're supposed to, it's 106 average with 10 180s over 18 legs. Like it's a massive performance over a long period of time. That will terrify people going into Blackpool. Terrify, because he can do it for 18 legs and average 106 and throw and chuck a 9-darter into the mix.
I mean, it was the first 10 legs there was like two heavyweights with massive power, just trying to avoid each other, just trying to work each other out. And it was certainly once they just had that break, Luke was the one, and they were almost scared of each other, whichever one was going to kick in there. And it was Luke Littler that kicked in straight after the break, and that was what it wanted. Like you said, Karen, just that 5-10 minute spell just to kicking in, and that was enough to get over the line. And whichever one of those done that tonight was going to win the match, and it was Littler that took the initiative. And I must say, just watching Luke Humphries there, he's absolutely brilliant, very gracious in defeat, as are both of them. And we've seen these two on the Oki, and they're a credit really to darts at the moment. And fair play to Humphries as well, because he's been brilliant in this campaign as well.
Only the second man in history to hit a 9-darter in the Premier League final. The other bloke that did it was quite good as well. But unbelievable. Right, folks. It's genuinely a bit strange to be leaving you all this early on a Thursday, because it's normally another hour and a half or so before we actually all sit down to talk about some darts. But that does conclude the 2024 Premier League darts campaign. I'll take the last opportunity just to thank our sponsors who were the title sponsor for the event as well. BET MGM have been incredibly supportive throughout this Premier League, especially for us. We're in our Fallout shows. If you've enjoyed the Fallout shows, we've got some more coming up. We're going to do Fallout shows for the World Cup Friday and Saturday night, so you will see us here talking about the World Cup. It'd be good if we could get some international representation again, lads, for the World Cup. Everyone's got a horse in the race. We've got a Euro tour coming up this weekend. We've got a live watch along, so myself and Phil Bars will be along Sunday evening for the evening session on Sunday. And we've got Pro Tours live on, I think, the next live Pro Tour, June the 11th. Live lounge as always on a Monday. Loads and loads of stuff coming up. Thank you all for being along with us for the ride on the Premier League this year. It's been an incredibly fun experience for me and the rest of the team that have got involved. It's been smashing how much everyone's put in the chat room. There's the general crack and banter has been absolutely superb. So with that, I will thank you all for joining us this afternoon. It's been much more fun than normal having you all along for the ride as well. And I will catch up with you all next time. Thank you all very much and good night.